Okay, hello YouTube, welcome back. We're gonna play. We're not gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh. We'll do another time. I have free time tomorrow. But thank you for joining me. If it's not interesting you, that's fine. This is mostly because I'm doing the YouTube VOD because it actually captures the audio. If you watch this on Twitch, then you're like, what is? Be careful, Reggie. This is the internet. Oh, the internet will understand. Can you watch Making Ghastly? What's Making Ghastly? Whatever. You gotta just link it. Okay, the Yu-Gi-Oh manga that pulled off Impossible. Crispy applesauce. Da, 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 da.
Like so many people, my introduction.
Oh, hold on. Be careful, internet. This is Reggie. I know. The internet's not ready for my. Okay, we have to turn this down.
Yu-Gi-Oh was watching the anime Saturday mornings as a kid. And while we do have a fondness for the game, I think we can all agree that the show was never.
Oh my
anything
god,
like the real
okay.
game. Like, you don't need me to tell you that Giant Soldier of Stone can't attack the moon. I mean, it's
Monoconos leads to 6 alpha and you feel it
but
in
even
attack.
later arcs,
True.
where they do follow the rules, the show is still not a good representation of what the game actually is. You have characters like Anna Kaboom eating a -5 for literally no reason just because she's playing against the main character. Or moments where duelists pull
Who cares? Oh my god. I hate this. Like, oh, it's not I hate this. Oh my god. Okay. I actually, like, if he's saying, like, the anime should be like the modern game, that's brains. And it's boring as fuck. I can't stand the fucking, like, link ladder bullshit. Like fuck Soulburner, bro. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna be like, I don't know, like doing the step-by-step, like, sort of modern combos. It's so boring. Like, I do think it's kind of cheesy when, you know, Duel Monsters does the Card of Sanctity bullshit where they're like, draw 6, both players draw 6 after they go. But this is so boring. Okay, like I genuinely find. Oh wow, I didn't realize this was 20 minutes. Okay, are we shocked?
Asked that they have no right using in their deck that just win them the game on the spot. Like, I'm sorry, Soulburner, but Gate of Fire is not a good card, and you shouldn't even be using it in your deck. And with the Yu-Gi-Oh shows,
bro, this guy is gonna be I don't know if you watch Zexal, Yuma loves this battle damage card called Half on Break. Every time Yuma needs to be on like 500 life points, he flips flat Half on Break. And then he goes like, oh, I'm gonna summon Chaos number 39 Utopia and then reduce your attack to 0 and or some bullshit. Why my card can't destroy the moon? That is, I like that campy bullshit. The D&D campy, like, fuck it, we're gonna just roleplay. That's the cool. That's why I like DM a lot. He's feeling the flow though. But yeah, he's gonna like he's gonna explode if he watches Yuma. Yuma has some bullshit battle traps.
Realistic adaptation of Yu-Gi-Oh? It begs the opposite question. What would a realistic modern adaptation of Yu-Gi-Oh even look like? And you see this question a lot online, and a lot of people just assume that it's impossible. You have combo lines that last over 50 steps and end boards that have more disruption than your opponent starts with cards in hand. It would be pretty much impossible to make something like that actually entertaining. So when you see these discussions, people usually land somewhere in the middle. Like, say they put Magical Musketeers.
I haven't read
anime.
the
most likely make some sort
OCG
of
Structures
manga,
manga, but I imagine that's also kind of curated too, like the actual duels. I don't imagine they're playing modern cards, right? Like, oh, I have called by for your maxi. Like, they're definitely doing that, but I don't think they're doing like you. I need this right now. Proceed to get that right now. That is pretty much Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the medium for the manga has limitations. But it's cool to see. I don't know. Every now and then on Discord, someone posts like a Indonesian scanlation of like I don't know. I forgot Yuga. I don't know who the main character, summoning Dormouse or some bullshit. There's a guy who plays Math Mech in that series. I remember someone used that as his profile picture. Whoever used him.
Max and Casper. And then you'd have all the spectators on looking like, wow, that allows him to activate trap cards directly from his hand. But in real life, that Magical Musketeer player is going to link off one of those monsters for Fiendsmith Requiem.
Did you get Lionhead? Nah, I got bored. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm D1.
Sequence equipped to it for targeting protection. But something like that would just be impossible to make entertaining, right? Oh my. Welcome to the manga that seems to have pulled off the impossible and made modern Yu-Gi-Oh both entertaining and realistic.
All right, well, I'll find out. This is my first time. I've only seen the screenshots.
So OCG Structures takes place in an alternate version of real life, following our main character, Shoma Yusa. Shoma, like any character in a piece of Yu-Gi-Oh media, loves duel monsters, but he grew up out in the countryside and was only ever to play with either himself or his sister. When his sister was given the opportunity to move to Tokyo, she offered Shoma a chance to move with her so he could
Engraver
be closer to the
jump
world's
scare?
greatest
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh specialty store, the Satellite Shop. So naturally he
When Duel
accepts, and the
Tournament
manga opens
anime?
up on moving
Yeah.
day to Shama ditching his sister to go to the pre-release event for the new pack. And we join
Which
Shama
one do
in
you
his
want to
first time
see?
visiting the Satellite
You want to
Shop.
see the
And when
entire
he
one?
gets there,
I
we
don't
see he
like
already
Duel
has some
Tournament
pretty
1,
relatable issues.
but I do
He has
like
anxiety about talking to new people and struggles with social cues to know when he's being too
the Sophia
enthusiastic or
Duel
accidentally hurting
Terminal
someone's feelings.
archetypes.
But
Those
the
guys are
Satellite Shop
kind
is
of
where we're
cool.
going to spend most of our time.
I don't know. I'm not
and
really
where we're
interested
gonna
in the
meet all
worms
main
beating the
cast as
shit
well.
out of
Strong Juku, who's Shama's first friend,
like
and
the
his
four
guide
tribes
to
that are
competitive
warring
world of Yu-Gi-Oh.
amongst each
Dark
other.
Karuta, a melodramatic kid who shouts out.
Yeah,
Summoning
see, this
Tank,
is the Math Effect player. See, summons Final Sigma.
and carries around fake blood with him.
Giant
so he can
rat
stand out
anime?
and taking battle damage. His sister, like Kuroda, who's probably equally as melodramatic, but she hides it under a more proper outward appearance. We have Psychic Tendo, a meta player who has dreams of going to worlds.
Yeah,
one day,
okay,
who's
you see the shit. Yeah, like this scanlation shows up every now and then. Probably shows up on meme reviews sometimes.
always playing the best deck. In the
Shadon
game.
Ritual
He also
Beast?
doesn't
Okay,
really
yeah,
believe
yeah.
in
That
different
era
things. And finally,
of
Desu Ann, more commonly referred to as Miss
I really
Ann,
like that
is a
era of
part-time
Duel
employee
Terminal.
at the Satellite Shop that cosplays as Torkai from the Underworld and constantly speaks in death puns. And their adventures in and around the Satellite Shop is the entire.
Oh yeah,
plot.
the death puns is because it's Desu. Desu's like a polite way of speaking, if I remember. And she's like, it makes sense because it's tour guide, right? Like this way. Yeah, like that's kind of funny though.
Story, which I really think is
Desu.
lovely. There's no world-ending stakes in this manga. It's just a bunch of people who love to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and even if they lose to each other, they can still be friends afterwards. The struggles these characters have to overcome have nothing to do with trying to save the world. They're actually very relatable to people who are trying to enter the card gaming space for the first time. Themes like the pressure of your first tournament game match that decides whether or not you win the prize. Things like how do you emotionally cope with losing a qualifier match to a tournament that you really wanted to play. Ideas like misplaying because you aren't in the right headspace. And even deeper topics like seeing friends become too competitive to the point to where they just stop having fun with the game. This manga not only perfectly adapts the card game itself, but it even tackles issues that are relatable to people who are in the card gaming space as a whole. And I really think this deserves
Also,
some
like
praise.
this
It's not-
medium is manga. It's not like animation for what it's worth. So it's a little bit different. Like I feel like you just like turn the page, or you can have paneling that like makes it easier to sequence stuff. Honestly, like like how we have like combo, not spreadsheets, but you can have like combo pictographs. So I think that medium lends itself. I can't imagine animating that though. I think that's the missing part. Like you still have to, like if you were to adapt that, right? You still have to animate it.
something that I think even needed to be in this for this to be a good Yu-Gi-Oh adaptation. Like, if this manga is your introduction into modern Yu-Gi-Oh, then I think it's important that they're teaching lessons like it's okay to lose a game. Because at the end of the day, while losing still hurts, it's still just a game, so it's not that serious. But now that we have an overall
True.
settings and plot out of the way, let's jump into the hardest thing that the writers had to overcome themselves, which is how do you make modern Yu-Gi-Oh entertaining? Let's start with how they handle deck introductions, because you need a way for the readers to understand what they're looking at, right? And with each modern card being an absolute wall of text, how do you approach this kind of information dump and turn it into something that's exciting to
Never
read?
okay to
And their
lose.
solution?
Yeah, I love playing
Ancient
Math
Egyptian
Effect. I
magic.
only
Now,
ever
look,
have
I
a
know
Math
it's
Effect
probably
trap.
just a
True.
representation of Shuma's imagination, but the writers never clarify on this, so I'm just gonna go with Ancient
There are
Egyptian
still
magic
Math
because
Effect players
I think
who play
that's fun.
Final Sigma.
You see, when Shama reads a card, he has the ability to enter that archetype's world and talk to the monsters directly about
Goated,
their
I
strengths
fear.
and their weaknesses. And there's just something so much
Should have
fun
taught
about
me I
seeing
must
Jacob
never
Pymena and
misplay.
Rufia's
My
top.
favorite is like, I know like when you stream there's a debuff, but it's so funny to see Triff like grapple with Master Duel in that sense. Like he'll have like that. He'll put on airs about how like he'll always win or whatever, and he'll fuck up in in game. It's pretty that dichotomy is funny. Only losers think it's okay to lose. You can win more games in the future. It's like that's like at the end of the day, like do you think people who go to tournaments and win YCSs, like, do you think they like give up after losing once in round one? Probably not. Oh, speaking of people giving up, Triff lost, like, he went X2 or X3 in YCS Anaheim, and he ended up winning the whole thing. Go there to lose? They're not losing, but like, it's like individual games. Losing doesn't matter that much. Obviously, if you lose enough, you're out of the tournament, but like, the whole point is if you lose once, it's not a setback, or you can't let it become a setback. Like, that's what I think. That's how I choose to interpret being okay with losing.
to Xiaoma about how their deck
There's
works.
SK manga
It
like
still
a
ends up
pretty
being a
ice
few
berry.
pages of explanation, but it's presented in a way that I'm always excited every time Xiaoma picks up a new deck. And I think something that really helps it is that the monsters have so much more personality than what you would see in other Yu-Gi-Oh adaptations. The clown
So,
monsters
okay,
get
you
offended when Xiaoma
self-FTK.
says graveyard
Nice.
instead of referring to it as backstage. Moments like Fierce Ogre and Warrior Monk of the Tenny's reaction when Xiaoma tells him that he was missing 2 Adhara and 1 Vishuddha, so he can't actually play them at full power. Moments like this are really funny to me. And it's not just in these sequences either. Even
Oh,
during the
hell
duels, these
nah,
monsters
not
have
this
so much
fucking-
personality that the writers just didn't need to give them.
Oh,
It
fuck,
turns
there
the
was-
mundane
I
topic of
forgot.
this is how the deck works into a pretty fun interaction that I'm always excited to see. More importantly, I walk away from it having an idea
Is
of
that
how the deck
it's a
actually
stupid
works, their
trap
strengths and
equip
weaknesses.
archetype.
And this is information that I can bring into real life play.
They
which
took
is not
away
something
Lucas'
other adaptations
abs.
can do. So they nailed the setting, they nailed the deck introduction. How did they handle the
Amazing,
content
yeah,
itself?
yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
the biggest thing everyone brings up is how long the combos take in Yu-Gi-Oh, and you can't spend 5 chapters on one turn to resolve a single.
Me with 100 LP waiting for my opponent to finish me while he is doing 20-minute combo to flex only summon one of the ugliest MF cards ever seen with 1600 attack, 1300 to kill me instead of using his 3 monster with 3000 attack in the normal monster zone. Oh, I see. Okay, that's kind of funny. It like edited the little face. Kinda, it's alright.
Combo. And yeah, the writers actually know this. In fact, they just skip the combos entirely. Like maybe a duelist will play 1 or 2 cards so we have an idea of the
They skipped the combos. What do you mean? Okay, so like I don't know, like is that really okay? It's solving the issue, but the problem is, I don't know. The anime could do that too. Like they could just skip the combos. I guess it reflects the actual game, but like my whole issue with that is I don't want to see fucking like every fucking step animated. It's so boring. I'm okay if it like there's like a montage or something, and then like you get to the you fast forward everything, whatever. Oh shoot, it's a little I forgot what it's called.
deck that they're playing, but the moment that they go uninterrupted, they're just going to skip to this beautiful zoom out of their end board. And if you want to know how to perform that combo yourself, on the back of each chapter, the author actually puts all of the steps you need to take to perform.
But yeah, this is easier to do in a manga format. You see, like you have this paneling available to you. So it's just like, again, I don't know. Manga and anime are different mediums, and I feel like this isn't like
Form that combo in real life,
one
and
to
get
one.
the same end board. And then we just pick up the story at the start of turn 2, and I think that's the best way to do it as far as pacing is concerned. We don't need to see.
Dude, okay, do you guys remember how people reacted when the cooling game rules showed up in JJK? The hand trap battle? Yeah, the hand trap battle, you do like an AMV speed up. That'd be kind of funny. I don't know. Point is, you definitely can't replicate that. Like, maybe you could do wall of text or something like that, but in an animated medium, it's a little bit sus.
Combo. But it's not like every turn 1 is skipped either. If there's hand traps involved, then they'll usually show up to the point to where a player has no more interruptions, and then they'll skip to the end board, which I really like. And don't get me wrong, I love all of these end board shots.
Yeah,
Every
that's
single one
fair.
is completely
That's
beautiful.
fair.
But the focus of the game is on turn 2 and forward. It focuses on how the characters break the boards, not build them. And it's not just a case of they gave Lightning Storm or Regeki to every character either. They
But this
usually show
this just feeds into what I was saying. Like, I don't want to see like the board building. It takes forever.
breaking boards with engine alone. And it's not like these characters get god hands either. These characters find themselves in situations that we would find ourselves in actually playing the game in real life. Maybe you need to make an SP Little Knight to force out an opponent's Rising
Oh my
Cross
god.
before you can actually commit to your plays. Or maybe you need to hold off on activating an effect to play around IP Masquerena, only for that IP Masquerena to quickly
Baron
both
the
the goddess
floor.
later in that same turn. These characters are finding themselves in real situations and coming up with real solutions that we would use in the actual game. Which I think is my favorite part about this, is that it's showing the solutions to these problems. Like when Sean was going second and already dealing with an end board, and then the opponent throws Max C on top of it, it's not just slap the surrender button. They show how he assesses the board state and makes a decision based off of that. The manga takes great care to showcase moments that you shouldn't play into the Max C, moments where it's okay to give your opponent a draw to, or moments where you just fully play into it and try to OTK your opponent. Or when Xiaoma draws a subpar hand and his only starter gets hit with Ash Blossom, how do you make the best of that kind of bad situation? These are all situations that we've experienced playing this game. We've all gone second into a Max C. We've all gone first and gotten hand trapped 3 times by our opponent. The manga isn't trying to
Yeah,
hide
that's
the
actually
ugly
pretty
interactions in Yu-Gi-Oh! It embraces it and tries to show us that there's still a game to be played despite it. And while
Thoughts on
it's
the
playable, it's
Nifrost
still goofy enough
situation?
to still be very enjoyable and feel like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wait, what?
So
What
let's bring this all
Nifrost?
together now and just look at one singular game to see how all these themes actually came together to create a very entertaining time. And the game I'm actually picking for this is OCG Structure's adaptation of Malice vs. Yummy. And I know there's a ton of people who just roll their eyes at hearing Malice and Yummy. I mean, it's a deck that commits every single sin for why a modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck shouldn't work as an adaptation. So I think if they managed to make Yummy and Malice an entertaining time, then they truly did the impossible. So let's take a look at it and see if we're entertained. Our duel starts off with the classic Yu-Gi-Oh!
High
showdown,
Nif microwave
EG versus
wave?
Mimi.
Wait,
Also,
did
the
Nif
reason
get
EG is dressed
automated?
like
I
this
didn't
is
see
because one of their
anything.
teammates refused to join the team unless
Thoughts
they
on
all
the
cosplayed as
Sykkuno
characters from
situation?
V-Rains.
Secret Missing.
Now, I'm a
Oh,
Pokemon
it's a
person
watch
because
streak
I've never watched
redeem.
V-Rains myself, but
Thank
I'm
you
sure
for
there's a few of you out there that are
the
just
25
talking their
stream
minds
streak.
out right now.
Amazing.
And
I
there's a
already
quick time
talked
to
about
review makes fun of him
Sykkuno.
for not actually remembering her at all. And his
Actually.
reaction kind of should tell you everything you need to know about his
I think it's pretty obvious he's a creep and cheating on the girlfriend is not okay. But I think I don't want to victim blame, but I thought it was also kind of sus that one of the victims was like, keep me noted on the situation, please. You know, you can still talk to me. I just assume they're being really naive or whatever. Like, I don't know. In that context, it was really sus. I was like, bruh. Also, okay. I'm good.
Character. But with that
There
out of
you
the
go.
way, the duel begins. EG opens the duel with Cynet Mining, sets a trap card, and then normal summons the monster that he searched, Malice P. Dormouse. He then uses Dormouse to banish White Rabbit from his deck, and uses her effect to special summon herself. And this is where we get our first combo skip. We get a panel of Mimi recognizing the deck, and Shama explaining the effects that all of the Malice monsters have in common. And then after that, EG ends, and we get this great zoom out of EG's end board. I also like the inclusion of this crossout designator here. It doesn't actually...
There's another person saying 17, 18, and backtracked. What do you mean? Like, she was like 19, right? If that's the aging question, right? Thank you for streaming. Gotta go. Thank you for joining me. It's nice to. Thank you for the vibes. Have a good one. I'll probably be taking off in like a couple hours, but I feel like that's fairly content farming focused rather than warning anything. It was coordinated with the Mujin video, so I'm not saying they're attacking my goat Saikuno, but yeah, it does feel like a bit of farming. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the situation's being treated with like the tact it deserves.
in the duel at all, but it at least shows that the writers are in tune with how people...
Another person said
it.
it.
Now,
Okay,
while
okay,
we might have had
gotcha.
this nice little time skip to skip the combo, Mimi didn't. And the next panel cuts back to her eating snacks because EG was taking so long for his turn to end. Which, yeah, I do feel that, honestly. I've done the same exact thing. Mimi starts her turn by activating Sky Striker Hornet Drones to special summon a token to the field. EG, assuming that she's playing Sky Striker, uses Heart Cryptor's effect to banish the token from the field.
Oh, this is yummy. The yummy fake out.
Mimi then makes fun of him again for not remembering her still, and then the next panel shows us Mimi's full hand, revealing that she's playing Yummy. She then normal summons Cupsy Yummy and uses its effect to search for Yummy Surprise. And honestly, poor Cupsy here when Mimi says that it makes her hungry, that's just the look of betrayal on his face. EG responds to a normal summon with MPT-07, adding March Hare from his deck to his hand and banishing the Cupsy Yummy. And so
Some
far,
people
this is a
trying to
very
say it's not an
reasonable play
issue.
to make. These characters aren't doing anything that's too outlandish from what you would actually see in a real game. But unfortunately for EG, we saw her hand earlier and we know Mimi has the extender, Marshmallow Yummy. And this is where I think EG actually makes a misplay and activates the March Hare in his hand now. But misplays are okay. It shows that the characters aren't perfect, and I think it's even a little bit on theme with the subplot of this duel. You would kind of need matchup knowledge to know that you should save the White Binder Vanish for later in the Malice combo. But Mimi actually remembers EG, so she remembers Malice and actually has that matchup knowledge, where EG doesn't remember her, and as a result, doesn't really remember how to play against Yummy in general. Also, EG referring to the life point cost of Malice monsters as ejecting love points is absolutely
Wait, why
fine.
is he role playing as Revolver? Excuse me? I mean, I see Night of Hanoi. I guess I.
Diabolical. But it did genuinely make me laugh. So while EG goes through all of his Malice steps, we actually cut back to Mimi, who just started snacking again and comments on how it's supposed to be her turn. And after that, we get a zoom out of the Malice field
Hanoi.
with all of the Malice monsters in all of their glory. And we get a brief summary of what the field does, like how March Hare provides targeting protection, while Mimi finishes her donut. And Shuma calls it a solid field, which is his equivalent of being like, I've seen better. And now that she's done
Can I
eating,
get the
it's time
kite?
for Mimi
Nice.
to go off. Mimi links off Snatchy and uses its effect to place a Croakery in the play. Then she uses Yummy Surprise to revive Marshmallow and return Surprise back to her hand with Marshmallow's effect. And
I have a
Cupsy
kite, but I
Yummy
think it
way.
got-
I
Mimi
think
activates
it
her
got
Cupsy
broken
Yummy way on chain
under
of one,
the
and chains a Croakery
winds
at
when we
scale
tried to
to
play
destroy
it.
the Malice underground.
I mean, we
So
had our
these
fun with
monsters
the
are no
kites,
longer getting
though.
the attack boost from the field spell. Next, she activates the Big Gnome from her hand and special summons the Lillipo and Cookie from her hand as well. And uses
We
them
can't
to
random
symbol
duels from the manga. Okay, it's like proposing that the manga does a better job. Not a better job, but it to tackle the situation of like a proposed anime that mirrors the modern, game. The manga actually tackles that. But like I'm not convinced because anime and manga are different mediums, and my problem if an anime adapted that, they'd have to skip all the boring climbing bullshit. I don't give a shit about that. It's so boring to watch. Like I watch Brains and I'm like Soul Burner. Oh my god. I mean they're not meta combos or whatever, but like the whole like step by step So like but he already says that like this manga skips all that. I mean, it brings up pertinent situations like hand trap wars. But like the combo that they skip is like recapped on another page, which like ain't no anime doing that shit. Kite from Zexel,
Cookie
yeah.
Yummy Way. Using Cookie Yummy Way, she flips down March Hare and White Rabbit to turn off their protections that they're giving to
They get
those
skip
monsters.
stuff. Yeah, I mean
After that, she uses a
that's my
Croakery Graveyard
point.
effect.
Like you're gonna have to do that, like in anime. So so I'm okay with the dumb bullshit. Yeah, that's true. The Rocky fights. Yeah.
to return one of the snatches in her graveyard to the extra deck.
But I
so she can
can't
summon
see
a third
anime
snatch in
like
this turn.
being able
And I also just love
to
the idea here that the characters are playing on the same ban list. that
do
we
a
have
text
when this
recap
chapter
or
was
some
written.
shit.
Mimi activates McKnown to revive Lollipole, and then she uses Surprise from her hand to bounce Heart Scripter and the unknown back row back to EG's hand. There you go, Crossout Designator. That was your purpose. You were just an unknown back row. But that's not all. She chain Snatchy to the surprise.
Oh,
so she
yeah,
can
that's
summon
dick.
with the targets into Lollipole Yummy Way. Then she revives
It-
two more
it
Yummy
could do
monsters
that,
from the
yeah.
graveyard using Lollipole Yummy Way and enters her battle phase. And I gotta say, I love the way the Yummies attack. It's basically death by 1,000 little bunks. Also, I just love this look of concern on Red Ransom's face when she's the last monster left on the field. And then we get Red Ransom's POV of her staring down these insane-looking Yummy monsters during the battle phase.
You
before
tried Cool
they
Tune?
bonk her to
Nah,
death, too,
it's
leaving
okay.
EG at 1,200 life points. During main
I-
phase two,
I'll-
Mimi synchros for the Star Hand. And
I'll
uses
wait
it
till
to
like
Herald
next
of the
month to
Arc
try
Lord.
it.
And at this point, they skip right to Mimi's end phase, and we get a zoom out of her end board. And at this point, EG's feeling pretty defeated. He's been playing really bad, and he feels like he's holding back the high school that he came to represent. But in classic Yu-Gi-Oh fashion, through the power of friendship, he pulls himself together for one final turn. EG starts his turn with Mouse in the Mirror and targets the Herald of the Arclight. And Mimi responds with Cookie Yummy Way to revive Marshmallow and Snatchy. On Chainlink 1, EG activates the Chessy Cat that he banished with Mouse in the Mirror, dropping him to 900 love points. Mimi then puts her Marshmallow on Chainlink 2, and Snatchy on Chainlink 3 to chain block her Marshmallow. But EG has Call by the Grave to banish the extra copy of Marshmallow in her graveyard to actually negate it. And are we surprised that EG is using this art of Call by the Grave? No? Okay. By the way, writers, great attempt at trying to teach chain blocking to the readers. Really. But I think you guys bit off a little bit more than you can chew here. This is not something that you can explain in half a page. The chain then resolves and Snatchy places a Crocree onto the field, and Chessy Cat special summons itself to the battlefield. EG then uses Signet Mining to search for Lady Debug, and Mimi makes Cupsy Yummy Way and adds follow-up to her hand, but chooses not to use her Crocree Pop. When EG normal summons that Lady Debug and activates her effect, Mimi tags out the Cupsy Yummy Way for Cookie and Lolipo to destroy the Chessy Cat and return Red Ransom back to the extra deck. And not wanting to lose his Red Ransom to the Lolipo,
call it
EG
Crossout.
changed GWC to revive his Red Ransom and restore 2,300 life points. And I don't know if it's better or worse that he calls restoring life points as a love injection. Even Red Ransom is looking at him like, please stop calling it that. But at this point, we finally reach the climax of the duel. EG activates March Hare in his hand, and Mimi responds with her Snatchy, recognizing that she absolutely cannot let this resolve. But then EG reveals that he's been holding onto a Ghost Ogre this whole time, and uses it to destroy Snatchy in response, so Mimi can no longer Synchro Summon. With March Hare resolving banishing the White Binder, they talk for a bit about why he chose to hold onto the Ghost Ogre for so long. And after that, Mimi all but admits defeat. And here we get another skip to EG's end board right before he enters battle phase.
It's not like Ghost Ogre is that good versus Yummy. It was literally like written so that it like chokes that Snatchy.
And again, I just love how much personality they gave these monsters. Like, Dormouse and White Binder are just absolutely ruthless when it comes to destroying these Yummy monsters. But then White Rabbit comes in and attacks Cookie by just giving it a big hug. But with this battle phase, the duel ends, leaving Tsukinami EG as the winner of this duel. And I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun with this duel. It was goofy and fun and well-paced enough to get all the information that you need to know across without absolutely burying you in different combo lines. And I think OCG Structures really managed the impossible here and turned a modern Yu-Gi-Oh adaptation into something that's really fun and really interesting. If you ever have the opportunity to read this manga, I definitely recommend it. It's become one of my favorite pieces of Yu-Gi-Oh media in general. But just because I was entertained doesn't mean everyone was. So if it
Sagittarius
wasn't
Eternal
entertaining for you,
Alexanders.
what do you
Where's
think they
Vaco Tail?
missed
It
the mark
was
on this?
actually
Also, if
earlier.
you guys like this kind of video and would like to see me do
It
more
actually
Yu-Gi-Oh
shows up in this
analysis kind
manga
of videos,
earlier.
let me know. I would love to keep doing them, but I just want to make sure that you guys are.
There was
also
like a
gonna get
panel
into
with
it first.
Arthalion, so I
But if you
imagine
are
there
into
was.
it, why not consider liking and subscribing? It really helps out a small creator like me. Also, shout out to
All right. We got the. You think he puts potato chips in his applesauce? I bet he. That doesn't sound like a terrible. Oh my god. Oh, we already have this. Okay, we get rid of that. Wait, we already. What the hell? It's already a duplicate. Okay, Jesse Perez. Jesse Perez. Where's Izuna's? Oh my god. Okay, Jesse Perez.
Funny enough, Flame Swordsman himself has an attack which can double attack him too. I could have attacked him for 16k if I wanted to. Low mathematicians. I got a card that I gotta talk about, and actually this engine we have to talk about. People are using it. This one guy used it to get to really the highest rank that you could in Master Duel. Other than that, no one else is using it. It's a relatively undiscovered engine involving this card right here. What is this deadly card in front of us? It is
The Bun Bun Slander. Bun Bun. I mean, he didn't get to Master 1 with Dark Forest Swordman. He got pretty close, but. Sag. Alright, we'll see what he. We'll see. Okay. He talks pretty fast. So I'll put him at 1.75. But yeah, the Bun Bun Erasure.
the Dark Flare Swordsman. And why is this guy absolutely deadly? Well, look at this. He's basically a Flame Sword Circular because you
The Flame Swordsman. I know exactly what you're talking about.
This guy. So Flame Swordsman Circular.
The deadly
cards
card.
do have graveyard effects too. We'll talk about that later. But what's cool about it is he's got a quick effect. You can tribute this card, kind of like how Sky Strikers can dodge stuff, and you can summon any Flame Sword card. And that's what's really cool because we're using this as an engine. This will lock you to only attack with warriors when you do this, but you don't need it because this card is so good. You can OTK right through whatever you want because you get access to this guy right here, the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. This guy can get up to 8,000.
I feel like there's strings attached. I don't think this card kills on its own. But we'll see, we'll see.
plus on its own with a double attack, by the way. So absolutely nuts. So you need to know.
He's not using Warrior
Before that Dark
Jacket.
Flame Swordsman card came out, which had just came out 2 weeks ago secretly in a pack in Master Duel. Nobody's talking about it. It was just there, sitting in the pack. And TCG, one little card support. It's kind of like Piscina got there's one card support. It absolutely changes the deck and it changes it. It makes it incredible. Because before, you only wanted to really go second with this deck and it didn't really have a game plan. So it was like, hey, go first, man. Go first, no. But now you can go first or second with this because of this engine. Let's take a look at what we can go into. Remember, you can contribute and go into any card, meaning you can go into the Fighting Flame Swordsman or the Salamandra. 90% of the time, we're going to go into this Fighting Flame Swordsman guy because this guy does everything too. All of these cards do everything. The thing before was this card was kind of hard to search and kind of hard to get out. But now you can special summon it. It searches any spell or trap. It just needs to mention Flame Swordsman. If it's got it on its text, if it's got a tattoo on it, on its body, as long as it mentions Flame Swordsman anywhere, you can search it. It's got a graveyard effect to send any monster that mentions Flame Swordsman from the deck or extra deck to the graveyard, which they have graveyard effects too. So you get so much advantage out of just getting this guy out with the Dark Flame Swordsman. It's incredible. Like Mr. Incredible is here. That's how much advantage you get. By the way, this guy's got a graveyard effect too. That searches any Salamander spell and trap. We're gonna great stuff with that too. And he's got a little bonus effect here to equip himself to any warrior, and just give a 700 attack. But that's really cool for recursion. You can keep doing this over and over. So basically, he's going to search you with flame spell and trap, and then he's going to go to the graveyard with something, and then you'll get any flame monsters. Or you send this guy. This guy gets so much advantage. It's crazy off of one card. Anyways, let's kind of look and see what we're going to be doing with all of this flame stuff. The big cool spell that you're going to be searching either a lot of times is you're.
Oh my god, is this? I forgot what this card. This is a Rex Raptor card, right? I can tell this is Duel Monsters because of Duel's Kingdom because of the field. I don't know what this guy is called though. Is he the one with the goofy defense stats? That's kind of funny though. I like it.
Card, but I just want to point this card out. You want to play this card at 3.
That was the Pendulum 13?
Right, this card will wash your dishes.
No, it's definitely Rex Raptor.
Flame Swordsman, except this. It searches basically any flame spell.
But that's a pretty good way to cook a turkey.
Any card, not just fighting flames, not just search any spell and trap, any monster. This can also search the Dark Flame Swordsman, so don't even mind the ST. There should be ST and M, little step at the end there, because it searches everything. It also can destroy. It's kind of like Rush Recklessly can just destroy if you're battling a fire warrior monster. Sure, if you don't need, if you got everything, it does.
I might need to see the replay. I think I need to see the replay.
If you try to do an imperm or something, and you already have this card in your hand.
You don't think it's Sword Arm Dragon?
Okay.
Okay.
It also targets when your opponent activates that targets Flame Swordsman, you can negate that effect. Or a monster that mentions it. For some reason, again, we're just need to just whisper the name Flame Swordsman, and all the cards go crazy. Like, oh my god, just a Flame Swordsman. They get all excited. You know what I'm saying? It's for some reason you just have to mention the word Flame Swordsman, and every single Flame Swordsman card, like their eyes go wide open. Like, hey, did you just say Flame Swordsman? Yeah, you know. So don't be careful what you're saying and whispering. Anyways, depending if you're playing in the TCG or in Master Duel, there's 2 combo lines that you could do. Master Duel and OCG has this one really cool line right here. This isn't even the line I use. I actually use the line that you could do in all 3 of them. But I did want to talk about this. You can go into Isolde with the Tale of Noble Knights because you get the 2 warrior monsters, which I'll explain later because you use this Flame Swords realm. And basically, you get 2 warriors very easy, and it allows you to, in the end of your turn, you'll have a K9 Azuna in.
Oh, this is actually kind of cool. I haven't seen people take advantage of this, but yeah, it's like one of the usable warrior searches on your opponent's turn. Okay, I don't know about you. Okay, Brett. All right. I see you.
In your hand. So basically, if you're going first, now you got options. You can get 2 deadly hand traps in your hands with this line. Plus
very deadly. Yeah. Oh my! I don't know. I don't respect this card. I mean, it's fine in Vanquish, so I'm not gonna get upset if you play it. But like, I don't know. It's just like night and day. These two.
Do whatever you want to do with the body. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want me. And it gets this way because you want to send this guy to the graveyard. You send these 2 guys to the graveyard. This guy can search any fire warrior or something like that. And when it's equipped, so you get that. You can search any fire warrior, and then Isolde herself gets to add any warrior you want. You can't use that effect this turn, but if you're going first, you're going to really want to use it for hand trap anyways. So really cool. You end up the cards by sending this guy. It's really easy. Really fun stuff.
I'm a little sad that the new Rescue Ace support didn't search. Did they even introduce another machine monster you can summon with Impulse? I'm a little sad about that. Sag. That's probably what I was looking for. I don't think they did.
Gets this guy, which also she gets this. Whatever, I don't even use that line. That's what other people are using. I'm really more focused on getting this deadly trap right here. The Salamander with Chain, absolutely deadly card. And also the Flame Swords Dance is kind of cool too. Not as great, like you could cut this card, I don't really care, but it's all about the Salamander with Chain. I want to talk about this now because this card's gonna be doing something incredible. You don't have to use the Flame Swordsman cards either if you don't want to. This can actually be a generic card, and I'm gonna show you why. I can't wait. And by the way, if you're loving this, I'm hyped up. And if you're hyped up, I usually go down a lot of math and statistics on my channel. We do a lot of this stuff. Come subscribe, come join the channel, all this stuff. I'm on Twitch, by the way.
It's Megasaurus? Oh my god.
I'm jumping right in.
Megazalor. Ah, that makes sense.
Well, we'll keep it light maybe if you've got the time. Just hit. Anyways, let's talk about the Salamander with Chain. This guy is absolutely off the chain. This card is nuts. It's got an okay effect. It's got a good effect.
Target 1 fire on the monster on the field. Equip this card. Gives a 700 attack. Change 1 effect monster. That's actually not bad. Yeah. Banish this card from your graveyard. Fusion someone by shuffling. Okay, yeah. This card's got teeth.
And it's got a great effect. 3 deadly effects on a trap card that we can now utilize going first. It was a lot harder to get it, and it was like breaking us up. But again, with that Dark Flame Swordsman, we can go into this trap. What are the 3 effects that I'm talking about? Well, let's take a look here. Target fire monster on the field, equip this to it as an equip card that gives a 700 attack. That's the okay effect, you know? That's kind of cool because that 700 attack can kind and like catch people off guard, but that's the bare minimum. But here's the good effect, right? You're probably pretty much gonna do that. You can't catch people off guard because sometimes it's something that you can only do in the battle phase. But here's cool. You can change the effect monster on the field to face down defense position. Okay, so it's a Book of Moon. So a searchable Book of Moon in the Flame Source.
3 deadly effects, I know.
Great effect, right? You can even send this card to the graveyard. This is what really you want to use this for. Banish this from your graveyard. Fusion summon one Fire Warrior or Dragon fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your hand, field, or graveyard into the deck, but destroy it during the end phase. Now, normally people are thinking that
I'm kind of interested in any fire dragons. This isn't like in the future. This could be Fire Warrior. I kind of assume it's just like Flame Swordsman, but Fire Dragon. This is kind of limited though. Fire Dragon's not that like wide of a search pool, but obviously it's for the Salamander fusions. But I'll keep that in mind.
Flame Swordsman monster, but I'm telling you, there is actually a deadly dragon we can fuse. It's not even the Flame Swordsman archetype that we can use to use this card and actually do interact on our opponent's turn, which gives us like a fourth set of interaction, and it's absolutely crazy. I can't wait to show it to you. Real quick,
What do you got for me? What is this? Yoru Neku. Yummy synchro during the opponent's turn. Scary. Dora, an effect when used as material. Oh, fuck, who is this? Miken. Okay, this is oh, is this Draco? Draco Tail? This is Mitsurugi. Synchro with a quick play spell for an extra deck? You're kidding. Magnet. Using Naturia of all things? Have some shame. Oh, this is for Kiltoon. Doom Dragon's a fire dragon, but it's normally cheated out with its own effect. K9. Peeking my hand, unforgivable. Gorgeous, self-reviving on top of background. You monster. What's gorgeous? I actually don't know what this is trying to say. I imagine this is they're responding to K9. In fact, oh, but these are all like qualities that they share. Synchro with a quick play spell for an extra attack. Oh, because this is like prayers with a self revive. Using Naturia. What Naturia does Magnet use? Oh, Beast. Peeking my hand, unforgivable. Self reviving on top. Who's gorgeous? Okay, I don't know what this is. Self reviving on top of back row destruction. What does that mean? Oh, hold on. I've seen that before. I feel like dazzling. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this deck is. BS, don't start developing your board when it's my turn, even though you've already gone first. Okay, this ain't that fake. This is pretty fake. Okay. I think I kind of see what they're cooking, but I'm actually stumped on this gorgeous. Oh, it might be Radiant. Oh, you know what? I'm using... Ah, I see. It might be Radiant Typhoon, yes. Yes, it is. It is Radiant Typhoon. Dang, okay, they cooking. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, let's get back to the...
Did talk about Flame Swords Dance. Let's just talk about it right here. This is also a searchable card, so you can end on both of these traps if you go the other route. And this card does one of two things. It can either have an okay effect and the trick effect, or it can have the good effect and an okay effect. What do I mean by that? Because you kind of got to choose. You basically
Gorgeous
get a
Typhoon,
summon, right? Your opponent's doing that. You get a summon a level 7 or
Yami
level monster from your
Yuki,
extra deck. This little dragon that you summon. And then you could change one face-up monster on the field to face down defense position. So it's another Book of Moon. And this is where the decision tree goes. You can either Book of Moon your opponent's monster, or you could Book of Moon your own monster. And if you Book of Moon your own monster, that's the trick effect, because they won't see this coming. You Book of Moon your own monster, and during your opponent's battle phase, you banish this card from the graveyard and tribute the face-down defense position monster. Remember your own Book of Moon stuff. Then you can summon the Flame Swordsman boss monster, equip the dragon to it that it's able to do quick effect, and then it gives you a popping effect.
Resummon on
it's
MSC.
basically you can choose between Book of Moon or like a detonator. That's just a really interesting effect. Now, I do have to talk about this Salamander. I like to use this card. You could use it. It's a whack card. It takes up space. You don't need it for the engine. But if you're playing pure, if you really want to use this, I just want to talk about it. It's only good on the really OG Flame Swordsman. 90% of the time, it's taking up space in your hand, but it is useful for some OTK pure decks going second. Just have to talk about it because you have to equip it to the OG Flame Swordsman to fusion into the big guy. But we don't need to do that with it. Just want to mention that because it was a card. This is the card that lets you get the second body on the field, right? Because the Flame Dark Flare Swordsman gets you a Flame Swordsman body. This guy can get you the OG Flame Swordsman. You kind of can search this off of either the spell or again the Fighting Flame Swordsman. This gets you the OG Flame Swordsman. It's basically kind of like the Azamina card, the Azamina engine, how it gets you something just in your hand, and you get to special summon the OG Flame Swordsman. It also got a cool battle effect, which gives your warriors like 1,000 attack by lowering 1,000 attack. It's kind of cool stuff. Not even gonna talk about it that much because you just all this is gets you the OG Flame Swordsman. It also does have an effect that protects the normal summon of the Fighting Flame, but you can find Fighting Flame Swordsman at like 2. It's really all about the Dark Flare Swordsman. You don't need to worry about this stuff. You just need to know about this. Oh, by the way, Mirage Swordsman.
But yeah, the kanji is Kenran, and I know that's for sure is Radiant Typhoon. Kenran. Sometimes it gets spelled, machine translated to like Arion. And you know, I've seen some people be like, "What the fuck?" But whatever. Grok translations, poo poo.
Do like to do this. It is a deceivingly good card. That's a really good insane incursion. Play that one in the engine if you want. If you got everything you want. It's got some really good synergy. Check the card out. Read it. It's not really part of the engine. Not required. I think it's a good card though. You can play that one. But really, let's get back to the engine and what this card's going to be doing. Now, and some other ways, some cards not to play. You don't need to play these cards. These cards are just if you want to get to Flame Swordsman more. It's more of a pure thing. I play both of these cards either at 0. In fact, sometimes I'll play Ready Fusion maybe at 1 or 2, but it's not even to go into Flame Swordsman. It's more to go into this sandwich, which is really cool. You might be like, wait, Jesse, we're going to talk about
Oh my god, is this is meant for Demog, right? That's kind of cool.
No, we gotta talk about this sandwich real quick. You can keep this at 2 or 3 if you want to go into sandwich, or you could go into Flame Swordsman 2. It's kind of cool because it gives you that decision tree, which makes this really good. That's why I like Ready Fusion. Don't play Fusion Armament at all. You don't need to do that. But why do you want to go into sandwich? Because you can go immediately into the Dark Magician of Destruction with this card. So that's pretty cute there. And then get yourself an Omni Gate. So you can go to the Omni Gate, or if you don't need the Omni Gate and you really need an extra warrior body, you can do that in case they interacted with you in a weird way. But you don't need these cards. Let me just show you a sample Flame Swordsman build with it pure. This was kind of like the pure one I was talking about, where you're using the Soul Day engine right here, and you get to go. You have like a Soul Day stuff. You get this. It's really good. It's really good. Let me just rate my own board here, and kind of like how I was playing it. It got a B- for end board. Again, it wasn't that crazy going first. You get these double handcraft, which is but really kind of want to draw into these cards and get these guys. Probably good consistency of B- because there's a couple of things you might not want to draw. It's got a good, decent board break potential again because it's got this line right here, really good. It's very cheap actually. That's probably.
I mean, at least he's using it.
Well, you might want to go to it. Besides the K9 stuff, the Flame Swordsman stuff is very, very cheap. It's got a crazy surprise factor. It's not really resilient. Your resilience will come from this guy, and that's about it. So let's talk about another build, though. This is the build I would do if I want to play pure. This is the build that I'm talking about if you want to use it as an engine, right? This is absolutely crazy. And we're going to go into the videos of this. Is an A. I've created this. I think it had like, I don't know, like 12 pieces of interaction. Absolutely insane. Really consistent board, too. You can make pretty much
Consistency, minor spelling mistake.
In your hand, right? Like some of these.
When he said hello, mathematicians, I didn't have it in me to point that out.
Snake guys can also do some stuff. It's got that same surprise factor. They won't see this guy coming, and then it's got more resilience. I would go into this guy because, again, I want to talk about this fusion card. I'm just doing too much yapping. Let's just show it in motion. I'd rather show it to you, and let's start getting to slapping because I'm doing too much yap. All right, I'm going first, and I've got that Dark Flame Swordsman in my hand, baby. Let me show you what you can do with this. And look at this. I had that Fighting Flame Swords. I'm actually going to draw this Fighting Flame Swordsman now. You might be like, Jesse, why are you going to do that? If you could just search it and tribute it. Because I have a very unique hand. I have Diabellstar Black Witch in my hand. Now, normally what I like to do is send my Sinful Spoils here to ensure this card goes off. But since I have it, I kind of want to maybe use it then as an Omnigate. Now, I'm going to do something very cute with it. Look at this. Fighting Flame Swordsman allows you to do this, which is really cool, too. You can pitch it as your target for the Diabellstar. And why do you want to pitch it? Because now you can do a Chain Link 1 this, Chain Link 2, Fighting Flame Swordsman. What that does is now you can protect yourself. You can protect your Diabellstar search, and that's really cool. So that's really cool. When a card has a graveyard effect, like the Fighting Flame Swordsman, it allows you to protect the card's effects. That's really cool. Anyways, he's gonna hit me with Fuwalos here.
I hated back when Poplar was at 3. Like, I don't know what hand traps I had specifically, but when they pitched Poplar with Diabellstar and Chain Blocked, oh my god, I'm out. 1.7 seconds, I'm out. It like mattered sometimes. I hated it, but whatever.
Oh my gosh, but we still got this archetype, and this is really good. This is also a good
card. Oh, I think it was Gamma. I think it was Gamma that I didn't appreciate.
Play around Maxine Fuwalos too, and I'm gonna show you why. Anyways, we get this now pitch, that Salamangreat card. We'll get this Deception here. Now the Salamangreat, we'll get the Salamangreat with Chain, which is an insane card on its own. Anyways, we're gonna get this, and now look, you can attach this to this, by the way. Really cool. Now we're gonna pitch a card too here. Remember, we'll pitch this. This is kind of like the Deception of Simple Spoils. It's kind of like the Flame Swords realm I was talking about. So anyways, we're gonna get this. We're gonna give him a draw here, but we're gonna give him one draw for an Omnigate, basically an Omnigate. So I think that's fair to do that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like doing that. We'll stop it here. Remember, we got an Omnigate here. I could have went into the Magician of Dark Chaos. That's an Omnigate anyway, so I don't really need to even go in that. Give him a free draw. No, thank you. I've got my Salamandra right here, ready to go, ready to enable. This card also sets itself, and then this guy's got. Remember, this guy's got an effect. This guy's got an effect, and this is a decent board under Fuwalos. So we could have did a lot more, but we're just gonna stop right there and just see what we can do under Fuwalos. And he's gonna show me that he's got Magma, which is funny because he can't use Magma because all my guys are fire, which is really unfortunate for him that I didn't send these guys into the graveyard. Anyway, so he's gonna pitch the Magma now and gonna get one of these guys. That is crazy. He just added himself the Fallen of Albaz. What's gonna do it? He's gonna hit me with a Super Poly and drop a Super Poly. What that's gonna do is immediately get rid of my Ela Silva. That's why he didn't activate that because man, he's getting rid of my Omnigate and immediately going to Mirror Jade, this Deadly Dragon, and then go into the battle phase. Now here he goes. Now this is what's really cool. If I waited until the damage step, actually, I actually didn't wait far enough because here's the thing. I want him to change targets. I want him to start doing stuff because otherwise, if this card's destroyed, it destroys everything. I kind of don't really want that to go through. And he's gonna do this. We can negate that effect too and get rid of this card in the process. Negating this card's effect, kind of cool because I really don't want this guy to get banished. He's the star of the show, the Dark Flame Swordsman. Anyways, we're gonna pump him up now, but it doesn't matter. We get to get rid of the card and we added Diabellstar Black Witch back, which gives us some recursion. That's really good recursion. Now he's going to change the target, of course. Now, if I didn't want to bring the Diabellstar back, he would have been forced to target this guy, and yeah, that would have been devastating if I wanted that. But I don't want that. I want to do something else, kind of pretty instead. I want to force this card to go to the graveyard. Main phase 2, we do get to set our wanted for some follow-up, even more deadly follow-up, because now it's a card draw effect, and I get to see what he's going into here. He's going to go into here. Now in the end phase, this is where I can do my magic, baby. This is where everything comes together. This is where it happens. This is where we destroy him, right? Because he's going to use that effect. I'm going to now use that effect and send both of those cards to the graveyard, and now Dark Flame Swordsman will be able to get a card too. This is some good recursion here. This is just like to even give me some follow-up, whatever. Not that crazy. This card gives me some follow-up. Also, I get to chain block my follow-up if he had an Ashbow. I know he doesn't, but just to let you know, you can do that.
Yeah, was it 2 back then? I believe so, yeah. Been a while, though.
Your follow-up would be chain block, and here we go. Chain link 3. I activate the Salamander with chain in the graveyard, which is deadly. And by the way, I didn't even use it to put anything face down, because I didn't want this card face down. I could have put this card face down too if I wanted to at any point, but I want it face up. Why did I want it face up? Because I'm going to fuse with this card. Remember, confused. I'm going to take the Azamina, and I'm going to take the other card, remember the
Oh, yeah, that's kind of sick. So it is Doom Dragon. As foreshadowed earlier. By So Shoddy, or more like For Shoddy.
I pitched before the Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes and Azamina.
Yeah, that's not too
this
bad.
is a fire dragon monster. You could fuse on your turn. So I go into this on my opponent's turn here. And
That's kind of cool. I do appreciate that. Snake Eye +1 illusion. I
during the
see.
end phase, oh, by the way, I get to get even more follow-up. I get to get another chain, and then this one, remember, that gets me anything I want it to be that mentions it. I can push my Flame Swordsman in the back row, and then
Oh, it just dies? Okay.
it destroys itself, and now here we go.
No
Now I'm fine with that.
Spishati?
I'm gonna just
Oh
grab
my
from the graveyard,
God.
even just in case. And then I got everything. I have everything. I'll grab the Flame Swords round because that's pretty
Hello,
cool.
Bozo.
We're gonna do this. Flame Swords round. We'll pitch this guy. We don't need him anymore. We're gonna go into the OG Flame Swordsman here. Here's what's really cute. And then the OG Flame Swordsman get this. Now this guy,
That was cool, though. Okay, he farmed a bit of aura, but he's just like, bye.
guy's gonna pump this guy back out. And he's gonna try to go into another one of these branded fusions. But what's funny, my opponent doesn't even know his own card. The Mirror Jade.
Yeah,
is
he
another
can't summon
Mirror
Mirror
Jade. It controls a Mirror Jade. Look at this. Where is this? You can only control one Mirror Blade Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. So because I pushed it in the back row, that's why I didn't want to set it face down. That's why I didn't want to do anything like that. That's why this guy was needed to target a face-up monster. That's why I didn't Book of Moonum. Anyways, because I wanted this card face up. Now this guy's gonna try fusing into something else. He's gonna go into Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon, which is pretty cool. He's gonna revive some stuff here. Again, he's gonna give himself this guy and give me this guy. Now he's gonna fuse again. Now again, he can't go into this. He's actually forced to use his own card to go into something here. He's gonna go into Albion here. Now Albion, he was actually really confused why he couldn't go into Mirror Jade the whole time, and he just gave up. I was gonna win anyways. I had a Diabellstar that can go into the Dark Magician and go into Dragoon. And
Well,
I
the
had
Knights
those
of the
Snake Eyes. Really, really good.
Apocalypse?
Funny enough, his name was Board Breaker, but there was no board for him to break. I'm just too good.
What's
You
that?
can't break me, Board Breaker. I break you. In fact, I broke you with Flame Swordsman, and that was
Like
just the first
the-
thing you could do. That I really
is that
liked. We
the-
can go into Doom Dragon to push stuff into the back row. That's absolutely incredible that we can do that kind of fusion.
Seven Deadly
and that's just a fun
Sins
play that I want to show you.
spin-off?
Let's go to another replay right now.
I'm not
Let's see
familiar
how
with
fair
that,
Going
but-
second. Zero Hero is going first. That's a nice name.
So I do
Zero
not know.
Hero. What's he got for us? He's using Medius to Pure and gonna go into the Archmage Power Patron. I don't think he's using Doom Z stuff. He's going to pure Archmage here, if I remember correctly. But who knows what Archmage does? They do all these kind of weird, crazy stuff. Very, very insane. Especially if you could let them go uninterrupted. They get to get a really probably one of the deadliest end boards that you could get unattended. They get a lot of interactions off of these cards, and very, very annoying interactions. Here we go. You can see I have the Flame Swordsman archetype ready, willing, and able to break the board. Now you might say, Jesse, this doesn't look like crazy, but this guy's gonna be able to. He's basically an omni negate. You have three different
pulled
types.
the sword.
This guy right here, we
Ah.
got three different things. He can negate all the face-up monsters.
Oh,
You can
so my
There's
guy
this
showing
dude
up and
just
just
summon
leaving?
Archmage
That's so
monster. You
funny.
can get probably that Power Patron guy and fusion summon into probably one of the deadliest fusion guys. Let me show you what we can go into. You can go into this guy right here.
The way you
Nervous guy,
you
crazy
said
guy.
it
Well, this
is
guy's in the
like-
field zone. Can't be destroyed by cards in the field zone. But look at this. Once per turn.
Maybe
you
it's not as
monster
funny
card
as I
monster
imagined
effects.
it.
Basically, when that fusion guy goes to
But
river, you can
that
activate
sounds
the
pretty
active
funny.
become, destroy all cards your opponent controls. So bada bing, bada boom, he just wiped you with everything you got. So you gotta be very careful with that. Plus, he's got some back row stuff. Anyways, we're gonna try to get use wanted. Get our Diabellstar, but no, she's not gonna be the hero this time. Now we're gonna use that Fighting Flame Swords here. We're gonna use this, and now he's gonna do this. He's gonna negate the activation and destroy it. I'm doing all this in the draw phase, by the way, to play around Droll and Lockbird just in case. That's why we're doing this in the draw phase. Might as well use these searchable cards right now while we still can. Anyways, sorry, we get rid of one of his negates, and here we go. Dark Flare Swordsman, our hero is here. We're gonna pick that Fighting Flame Dragon. This has a really good graveyard effect, by the way. Anyways, I didn't talk about. I want to show it to you in person. He's gonna get his fusion guy, able to fusion whenever he wants on the field, and this guy's now gonna negate me, but I'm gonna dodge his negate. But he's gonna now do Cold by the Grave on the hero of the story. Oh no, he was supposed to get me something. Well, he was just gonna get me Fighting Flame Swordsman anyways. And so we get to dodge 2 interactions for 1 with that, which is really good. Now we're gonna use the Fighting Flame Swordsman, and we'll use Ritual Sinful Spoils to pitch it. By the way, if they did stop that, I did have Flame Swordsman realm to pitch it as well, because we again remember it's got a chain.
Shows up for one, like, one chapter,
Is the
bruh.
goat at chain blocking. So always remember to use your chain block there. We're gonna go into Ash, but here's the thing: I don't even need to do the Fighting Flame stuff. We're gonna get that right now, and we're gonna go into the Poplar. Poplar's gonna just kind of I'm trying to bait him out before I go back into the Flame Swordsman stuff, right? We're gonna get that Salamander fusion. I am running it at 1 to go second to break some deadly boards here, like I said, but this also helps break some boards. Again, I'm trying to like kind of bait my opponent out to like get rid of stuff. Anyways, we're gonna go into Link Karibo here. Link Karibo's really good because that can go into SP Little Knight, but SP Little Knight prevents me from.
knows the
attacking
Battle
directly.
Rogue
Anyways,
decks?
he's
I
gonna go now
know.
into his fusion, his Power Patron. I just need to threaten SP Little Knight, and that's why he did that. And again, now he's gonna wipe everything. Here he goes. This is what he's gonna do. Gonna wipe everything. Gonna leave me with nothing to my name. But here we go. I did grab this card, the Subversion. We're gonna push this bad boy into the back row, and now all we're left is the Flame Swordsman engine. And here's how we're gonna break this bad boy's board. And by the way, let's just draw a card. Throw this guy back. We get a free draw right there. That's nice. We're gonna use Flame Swords round to pitch Diabellstar because yeah, we don't need that right now. And we're gonna go into the OG Flame Swordsman. And you know the OG Flame Swordsman can equip the Salamander fusion. Go into the big bad baddie. This guy right here, Ultimate Flame Swordsman is here. This guy's got jacked up. By the way, he can equip this card to it. Now we go into the battle phase, and this card can equip to it too. This card does 2 things too. Not only does
Well, I know,
it
he's
gives him a
just-
quick effect pop if he's got something.
It's
quick to
already
this guy
broken.
also lets me do a double attack. I can now attack twice, so I can hit him for 4,000.
Now
Flame
Sword is just taking all the aura.
Attack, which can double attack him too. I could have attacked him for 16k if I wanted to. So bada bing, bada boom. That's how you break the boards with this engine. It's absolutely crazy. absolutely insane. That's what I like. That's how the Flame Swordsman engine. You can see how, look at that. We bounce back and forth between both engines. Use that. Use like the Snake Eye stuff. Bait them out with the DFL Star Snake Eye stuff, and then finish them with Flame Swordsman. Really, really good engine. Really, really potent. Absolutely devastating. I got one more replay to show you. All right, this last replay here, I'm going second against the 13th Reason, and this guy's using.
Oh my god, the Kurikara. This is gonna be good.
Diviner of Herald's gonna set up Arclight. What's Arclight gonna get us? Oh, he's getting Prayers of the Voiceless Voice. It looks like I'm going against a pure Voiceless Voice player here. I've got again some Flame Swordsman stuff in my hand. A little bit of Snake Eye stuff. Again, it's very, very easy to search anything Flame Swordsman because anything that mentions it will search anything that mentions it. You just gotta whisper Flame Swordsman in your ear, and all the Flame Swordsman's team comes out. Anyways, he's gonna send Eva to the graveyard. I wasn't really paying attention, but you know when Eva goes to the graveyard, he gets to get the Deadly Omni Negate, Herald of Arclight, and a Herald of Greenlight. A monster Omni Negate and well, not Omni Negate, a monster negate and a spell negate. Pretty much Omni Negate plus this guy's the Omni Negate here. So this guy's getting negates on negates and on negates. What is he not negating right now? He's
nice.
Hopes and dreams. Gonna go use the blessing.
I don't know how I got
here.
it. It must have been 2027 or 2024 LP.
I don't like the way he's playing his interaction as a Voiceless Voice main. I used to use Voiceless Voice a lot. I think he could use the trap a little bit better, but he's playing a Saphira.
Oh hell nah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not judging, okay, but like that just jump scared me.
Which I do like. That does let him draw 2 and discard 1. But because his particular deck is using all of these fairies, like the Eva engine, I can see why he wanted to include this. So very unique build on his part. Gonna send a barrier to the graveyard too. That means his hand is stacked. If he can afford to send a barrier, his hand is stacked with like fairies and stuff. So he's got an Omni Negate. Who knows what else he's got in here? Who knows what that trap's gonna do? Let's try to bust this board down, baby. Bust it down. Let's use Flame Swordsman round first. Just set that there first. The reason why we did that is because now he cannot use any of his Omni Negates. Because remember, Flame Swordsman does have a hidden effect. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effect when you normal summon a Fire Warrior. That's why I normal summon my Fighting Flame Swordsman, even though I could have done a lot of other stuff. But yeah, so we get this card for free. Anyways, very important. We get the Fighting Flame Swords for free. Now we can get rid of Oak and do some cool stuff later. We'll go into the OG Flame Swordsman. Now we've got double trouble, baby. We'll use Fighting Flame Swordsman. Here you go. He's gonna send Herald. He's gonna get rid of. That's nice to know. He's gonna get rid of his Monster Negate too. So he didn't have any more fairies in his hand. All right, he's gonna get rid of the Fighting Flame Swords. That's fine. That was bait anyways because now I'm gonna use Poplar. Poplar's gonna come out, baby. What's Poplar gonna do? Poplar's gonna come. Gonna get me whatever kind of simple spoils or the Snake Eye card I want. Actually, I want the Snake Eye. That's the kind of cards you get. Snake Eye cards. Gonna get me that Divine Temple. Gonna go to Link Karibo. Link Karibo's real cute because now I get the set of cards. Gonna set that Snake Eye. Oh, but he's gonna hit you with the Call by the Grave. Oh no, they always want to hit you with the Call by the Grave. He's got the fancy Call by the Grave too. Kind of setting me up there. All right, that's fine. Now we're gonna use these 2 cards, baby. What are we gonna go into? Now I'm gonna go into that SP Little Knight I'm talking about. This is some good interaction here. We get to banish anything we want. Let's banish this card there.
Okay,
Why do you
yeah.
want to banish that Chain Link 1?
Yeah, actually, you can like actually target at the.
Chain Link 2, by the way, so you can't Omni Negate me. This guy's Chain Link 2 comes in clutch more than you can imagine. This Chain Link 2 is so clutch, man. Look at that. It's the 3rd time this Chain Link 2 comes in clutch. So he cannot negate. He cannot negate this now. And now we can target the Barrier of the Voiceless Voice because that protects all of his monsters. Anyways, so now let's go. Get rid of that. That card was protecting all of his monsters. Look at this. We send that to the graveyard. Bada bing, bada boom. We cannot attack directly now because we did that effect, but we can't go to the battle phase. Remember, we can attack twice with Flame Swordsman now because this card allows you to attack twice. So let's
There's
do
like no Saravis in rotation. It's kind
let's
of.
do that. Plus, this card does let you do some like
Who
manipulative.
the fuck is Jesse Perez? Bro, you're missing out. Jesse Perez is the GOAT.
Just gives me double attack, give me some boosting attack numbers there. I like to do that. Now I've got a pretty big OG Flame Swordsman. This guy's now in the backfield. Gonna set Oak in the backfield, but I get rid of both of them to get the Doom Dragon. We know Doom Dragon can push anything I want. And by the way, because I got rid of both of those little lows on the field, his Omni Negate is gone. He can only have an Omni Negate when he has low on the field, which is why I double attack both of the lows and not those guys. So I got rid of his Omni Negate, and now I was able to push Skull Guardian into the backfield. And now what am I gonna do? These 2 guys are gonna go into something here. We're gonna go into Chain Link 3, Link 3. Promethean Princess can get me anything I want. You know what I want? I want to get Oak. Oak's gonna now be able to get me this back. Remember, this guy got called by the grave, so we won't use her now. We'll use her later. We could have special summoned it, but I wanted in the hand. You know what they say? A Poplar in the hand is better than a Poplar in the bush. Bird in the hand is better than Bird in the bush.
You're bad with names, don't worry.
It's better than nothing. We're gonna go into Raging Phoenix, setting us up for the pop, the drop, the stop, and we've got the Salamander with Chain, ready, willing, and able to mess with my opponent with no matter what he can do. Remember, it's a Book of Moon, it's attack, it's whatever you want it to be, baby. It can also fuse. Anyway,
I guess he could steal one of these with the Flambridge.
he's gonna get this card back, which is pretty cute. This is some nice recursion, some good recursion tools. I'm well aware of the recursion tools they've got. Now we're gonna use this. We're gonna target this to this, and we're gonna pump up our Flambridge Dragon, but that's not really the important part. Now we're gonna Book of Moon this. Why do we Book of Moon that? Because remember, we saw before we didn't want to use the Book of Moon. Now we're Book of Moon it because Lo cannot use her effect to be the full material if it's face down. She's got an effect where she could be the full material. So now he's gonna have a hard time using Saphira to special summon something, and that's it. He's gotta resign. So a simple Book of Moon there. By the way, we still had the pop with the Promethean Princess in the graveyard, and I did
13th Reason surrendered. Uh-oh. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay after losing the Flame Swordsman. Alright. What a battle. Alright. Okay, there's a Ryan Yu deck profile that I missed out on. First place Niagara Falls Regionals Lunalight featuring Ryan Yu. This is kind of outdated, but I think one of the highlights was he did play Impulse, I think. But yeah, we'll see.
Hey guys, Sentinel here with Ryan Yu, who managed to win Niagara Regionals 8-0 with Lunalight. So I know you've been pretty happy with this deck, this format. Why are you playing it? When you think it's still good going forward, and any other thoughts to the deck list as you go through it?
I'm playing this deck because I think it's the best deck in the Fua, and it's like even better in the Purley. Purley is literally a joke. It's also just very good going second naturally. If I had to say it had one weakness, it would be how good Veiling Imperm are. But for the most part, I think the deck is just very good going first and second.
Okay, let me get to the deck list then.
So this is pretty standard Deoglio. 2 check, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. This is the only thing that like some people choose to play 3 instead of 2. I have 2 cards. Like this card's not that good. It's like not even a pseudo starter really, because it's only a pseudo starter if you have it with 2 other names. And like the chances of drawing 2 names that aren't like Gold Leo or like another way to play already. And the deck's already like, fairly consistent, so it's just more important to draw on onion. 3 Fractal, there's like, I think most people are doing this now. I mean, it's correct. It plays like well into every hand trap. It's just that it's started and extended, so why wouldn't you? Hand traps, 3, 3, 3. So, not much to say about this. This is better against Draco Tail now because they're like playing combo slop. It's all fine. For the
Just
engine,
say you like
some people, I
furries.
think,
Bro, he's been repping this deck in MD too. Whenever he shows up. Yeah. he might be.
2-2. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. The general idea that I think everyone understands, though, is that you don't play 3v2 these because these are both really easy to disrupt going second. Like, Innovating Typhoon, these are just unusable going second most of the time. And the same is also true for, like, they're bad in the fall and the Virtuous, which is something that this deck should be good into, because it's more monster-based. But you still have to play these for consistency.
Oh, that's a
It's also,
cute
like,
shy
it's
emo.
So you can't cut them, but I think this ratio is fine. I like being able to search a second mouse state sometimes, like in a grind game, or if I let one get blown up. One Luna Fusion, just searchable bomb, this card's great. But you
That's a cute bird
It's way
emo.
worse going first when you're comboing, so you can masquerade and check. One poly. I think some people do this, but let's say it's the minority. Not foolish, this card's just broken. But most people don't play this card.
No
It's
comment
really fantastic.
on the
We're
Dora.
singing Serenade Dance, which is, yeah, this is the target I always send. I literally never send Perfume with this. You always
Oh, Serenade Dance. Okay. That's very interesting. Well, to be fair, Foolish Barrel Goods is at 3 in TCG. But this is actually... Okay, you probably have okay ways to discard this now, so it's not a big deal. The Grave Effect is really strong. I mean, I don't see it in Master Duel, but I imagine it's because Foolish Barrel Goods is at 1.
this, because I understand, of course. And it adds a dimension to your deck that it doesn't already have. Like, if I start with...
Oh,
Taking
that's a
These,
cute...
it's fine, but that's like part of my combo that I'm guaranteed to go through, and it's like a once per turn effect. But this is just, like...
That's a
it's
cute...
like, seriously, like, it's raised.
I love Cool Tomb. I hate
It's
playing
actually
Mirror and
very
popular
exciting.
deck. What are you?
This card's
Dude. I know what you mean. That sucks. Like, it's super popular. I've been facing, like, a lot of Kill Tune. I think a third of my deck, the decks I face, was Cool Tune. The mirror doesn't seem too great either. It's no tier mirror. That shit, damn. I don't know, bro. It was like that with tier. But people like the tier mirror, so it wasn't a big deal. Add floodgates for mirror? Okay, that's what other tier players did, and that pissed me off. Yeah, add retaliating C or some shit.
So we're going second side now.
I think, okay, like retaliating C seems pretty strong, but also because like you cut them off a lot of follow-up and engine, and then you just play a better engine than them because it seems retaliating C doesn't seem that bad, but we'll see. But like you still haven't like but I guess I don't know, how do you get rid of the spoken like a true
Because it requires you to chain card to play with it, but you never take this out. You also don't take this out. Yeah, this card's for effect, not cost like Perfume, so it makes it really good to trigger some Luminlight effects in hand. The fact that it's chainable is very good against Radiant Typhoon. You can block the MSTs if they look good resolve. You can also like activate a poly or something and then chain this and just make like a huge chain link. It's actually very good in second.
Oh, that's really good. I didn't even think about that. On resolution, you just chain this, and on resolution. Oh, okay. I never would have thought of that.
Pieces sometimes Barton just searches this, and this becomes like an insane discard for Perfume. And then 2 Perfume's not great because this like is part of what makes your worst hands because it's only left if you're playing. You only need 2 because if you draw 1, you just want to be able to search the second one. The Emperor. I chose not to play Impulse because I think Impulse is fine. It's mainly against Draco Tail, but against like all the other decks on balance, this card's way better. One thing you might notice about the midnight is that there's no heavy poly. I think that card just sucks. It's like a fake win condition. If you have the heavy poly, you just sequence around it, and you basically have to dump your entire hand into the Liger. I think in the format right now, for the most part, aren't losing the Liger immediately. So when you like go like -2, -3 to resolve heavy poly, then you're forcing yourself into a grind game that you're favored to lose because the Draco Tail can out Liger with the Magician's cards, Radiant Typhoon can out it with Phonics, Great Fly, Mandate, and Gossip Shadow. So there's just no reason to play heavy poly. It's also like more fun to actually break the board by playing normally because the deck is very good at pushing naturally. It's not like you need heavy poly to cheese the board. That's pretty. Action deck 2 standard. 2 standard, 2 standard. Oh, some people play 3 of this, there's just no reason to. It's just resource management. You never need 3 of this if you sequence the combo properly. So, most people I think actually are cutting this card, which I think is crazy. This card's like super mandatory. It's for the games where you get fluid or something or hand trapped a million times and the game becomes really close and you don't have any resources aside from Liger to kill them. You need this. Don't cut this. I literally would consider this card probably maybe like a 12th or 13th card in the action deck. It's not 50th even, so there's no reason to cut this. Most people who play this play it for Fallen and Virtuous because you can put this back with the Katisha, the Synchro. But you actually just play this because sometimes you need to make Leo Dancer off of. Like sometimes you make Leo Dancer raw, but often it's like Luminlight Fusion. You send this from your check to make this when you don't have enough monsters to make Liger, and it comes up. Like it's rare, but when it comes up, there's nothing else that can do the same thing.
Actually, I don't even know how you get rid of retaliating C. I'm like trying to think about how you get rid of it. It sounds really hard. Then you'll be giving up your engine too if you can't get rid of it. I mean, you could synchro with it into like a non-tuner synchro, but actually no, you cooking. You probably have to dedicate a synchro to it. All right.
Check. Standard, standard, standard. Standard.
We might be burning the kitchen.
Most people play this. This is self-explanatory. If you draw Leo plus Perfume, this lets you play through and interact on Leo because you link with Leo, bring it back, and then you can trigger the Perfume drift. These are both not standard, and they're both mandatory. I don't know why people don't play these. This helps you combo going first through hand traps. Like, I actually just don't understand how you would play this card. Some people also have played Dempsey before, but this card's just like mandatory. I don't like. Are you just passing on the Goose Guy if you get Veiled or Imperm or something on Goleo?
Can you explain
Like, if
why?
that happens,
Like, what's the interaction?
yeah, I'll get that. Like, if I get Veiled or Imperm on Goleo, usually I still do like SP double Liger. And it's only possible because of this card, because it detaches for effect, and it attaches both materials at once. That's what makes this better than Dempsey. So usually you put Martin and Chick under this, and then you trigger both at once, add that Poly and that Masquerade. Yeah, just play this card. Bourbon. This card's also mandatory. It comes up in like the one card Goleo combo to be Trollo, but that's not why you play it. You play it because when you're playing through hand traps. It's never like, none of the one card combos plan to make this card ever, but when you're trying to beat hand traps, which is the next weakness, like if I have to make a Tiger King or something, or even if I make like an Areola, if they get interacted with, or even if Tiger King doesn't get interacted with, like the stuff under it is stuck for the most part, because you can't always detach a material to negate something. You always make these in the ENZ, and then you can make Guardian probably to put your guys back in the grave, so it's important for like Turn on Tiger, Perfume Wolf, like all that stuff. Like literally mandatory. I don't understand why you wouldn't play this. Going second, it's also very good because you summon your Perfume Dancer to the ENZ, and then you like immediately threaten to link it off into this, so it turns off like, when you have Sylvan on the grave, of course, it turns off Sting, it turns off Flame, it turns off like Fallen Virtuous.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I
Yeah.
think I did that like almost every round. It's just super important interaction. It also helps you play around Impermanence and Purge if you're like getting hand trap 2 or 3 times. I won every game I won first. Like I didn't really have any trouble comboing, and I got hand trap like 2 or 3 times every game for the most part. And part of it's just because when you have the extra deck to like make sure all your guys stay in circulation, there's a lot of like little tricks you can do. Like I'll dump a fusion with Collider Chick, and then have a hand set up. Or if I can't get to the fusion with Collider Chick, I'll just make this in the MZ and then put it in the grave myself with the gravity controller, and then it lets me beat like an additional Imperm or Purge or something. And then side deck. This side deck's kind of a joke. I didn't have all the cards I wanted to play. I figured like I'll just like 2 of everything because it's like funny. So don't like pay too much attention to this. This is kind of awkward. This is the only card that actually should be a 2 in side deck. This is like satire for the most part. Card definitely isn't good. I mean, it's like probably fine. I never drew it. You could play Impulse instead of this because this only comes in against Tail anyway. Maybe you should play it 3 probably. This card's really good at this format. Droplet is a go second card against Draco Tail and Radiant Typhoon. But because I play more hand traps in the main deck, I don't play like Fallen Virtuous or Heavy Poly. This isn't something I would main. It's only like specific for going second against decks where I know I'm gonna get value by dodging something. You play this at 2 or 3. This card's actually fine. This card's just for Tail. It's fine. I also put this in ATM, it was okay. And then extra consistency for going first. This is also just kind of a joke. Like I wanted to play one of. What's optimal probably like. Probably you can play the 3rd tank instead of this. This is definitely correct. This is definitely correct. Oh, this is good. This is kind of just like a joke. This is like fine. But yeah, that's it.
Right. Any shouts you want to give before the end of the video?
Yeah, shoutouts to the people who helped me get the cards for this deck. So Joey, Enzo, and Ramiro. Shoutouts to the people who helped me get the regional and back. So Santoli and Luca. And shoutouts to Chabacrook and everyone from Toronto. And yeah, all the people I hang out with at the regional. That's fine.
Right. Thanks for profiling. Congrats on the win.
Okay. GCG. Okay, another crispy applesauce. Let me get rid of the. Oh yeah, Skull Guardian card dislike. Okay, we'll get to that. I don't even know what the hell this is. Oh fuck! I just realized. Orm. I forgot about this. This is how Ghastly are born. Oh my! I completely forgot about this. Okay, it's taking a while to load. What is this? Okay, I'll just let that load in the background.
Oh, hey there. I see you have a hand trap. Go ahead.
Use it.
I think the biggest hesitation
Orm.
people have when it comes to trying this game for
I'm
the
always
first
wondering
time
why
is
Ghastly
the
are
idea
born.
that this is a
What is
brand
this,
new game. While I don't
P?
entirely agree with that, you can't deny that a significant portion of your games in the matches 3 are gonna look like this. But when you open up that game,
Okay,
it
this
seems
is
like
our
there's
turn
actually
0
overlaps, right?
interactions healthy. I don't know. I don't really apply a value statement to this. I think you can make it if you design cards that way, but the current ones aren't too. I mean, Izuna's alright. I don't mind that much. Holly Sue, I don't like you. You're cringe. But I mean, Vidralis is kind of scary. Though I have no experience with that. His voice is kind of low. Oh.
in that one turn with plenty of back and forth.
It's not full volume.
Well, yeah, that's great for the K9 Banker Soul players.
It is pretty low, though.
Not everyone is playing K9 Banker Soul. Like, if you're some poor soul that downloaded Massive Duel for the first time because of the Hollow Live collab, and you made Live Twin to honor your favorite VTuber, then your ranked experience is gonna look a little bit more like this. And that's if you win the coin flip. And it's not like Live Twins is some unsupported old deck. It literally got new support in the same pack as K9 Banker Soul. And I can sympathize with those people who waited God knows how long for the Live Twin support to hit Massive Duel, only for it to be immediately outclassed by K9 Banker Soul. And as a result, you have a lot of people saying that the deck is unfair and that Konami went too far with the level of turn 0 interaction.
I feel like this will apply to a lot of decks that aren't K9BS though. Like you just I don't know, like maybe if it was released a month later, I guess a month before, you could be like, oh yeah, let it have its time in the sun. But I don't know. Is the Draco Tail matchup good? I feel like it's kind of hard. I don't know.
this kind of deck has. And so that's kind of what I want to look into. Is this level of turn 0 interaction too
Yeah,
much?
yeah.
Is it not good for the game? Well, let's find out together. To start, let's look at K9 Vanquish Soul as a deck as a whole. And let's start with the themes because I'm a crazy person and I just really enjoy how Konami implements these themes into the game. Starting with the Vanquish Soul side, the cards pull their inspiration from fighting games, specifically BlazBlue and Guilty Gear. And this one's pretty on the nose. Like, look at Yuki Terumi from BlazBlue and compare it to Valiant Caesar. And do I really need to say more? They're pretty much the same character. But of course with Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, the themes are usually best
Wait,
represented.
didn't I watch this already? Fuck, I already watched this. Okay, fuck it.
Inputs you have to use to actually perform these combos. And the spell and trap cards like Caesar Calamity and Dust Devil are representative of the super moves and the hyper combos in these games. And to be honest, I do think that this deck does emulate the themes of fast-paced fighting games really well. But I don't think this is surprising. Pretty much everyone knows that Vanquish Soul is a fighting game reference. So let's move on to the K9 side of the deck. Now, normally when I do these, I just kind of look up the themes of the deck, go, oh, that's really cool, and then regurgitate it back to you. But when I looked up K9, all I got was it's a reference to police dogs, and that was it. And my first thought was, wow, that's kind of disappointing. That doesn't really sound like Konami at all. And then I looked at the actual names of the K9 cards, and I thought to myself, that's a little weird.
Oh, that's so confusing. Wait, why is he... Oh my god, I remember this. He's talking about all the like neat trivia parts of K9. But that's like... I don't know what that has to do with this. I forgot about this.
K9 Lantern. What's with all the extra letters and numbers? So I decided to take it a step further, and I actually looked up what actual naming conventions for police units in real life actually are. And what I found was actually really cool. To give you an example, let's break down K966A Jokul through the lens of these naming conventions, so you can kind of see what I mean. So the K9 part is obvious. It's the type of unit.
He literally just spends a whole ass minute talking about
called the archetype K. So K9 is fine. Moving on to the 66. That's actually the station number that the unit works with.
the name etymology.
That's really cool for me. So in real life, that letter is the shift designation, and the A stands for Atom Unit, which is a 2-officer patrol unit. And all of a sudden, with that information alone, Jokul's effect becomes a lot more thematically cooler in my opinion. It special summons itself with another level 5 monster because it's a 2-officer patrol unit. It's never alone. And then of course the last part, Jokul, is just its name, Jokul. And I'm glad I actually looked into this because in my first script, I was fully prepared to call Konami a little lazy and say that they kind of half-assed this theme. And that really would have been completely undeserved because after looking into it, I think they did a great job with the theming on K9. It's just a lot more subtle than the theming of other decks that you see in this game. But when you smash these two decks together, you get K9 Vanquish Soul, which is a deck among decks for sure. And at least at the time of recording this, K9 Vanquish Soul is one of the best decks in the TCG, in the OCG, and in Massive Duel, despite the 3 formats having vastly different card pools. It's basically quick effective deck, and you can insert any number of R-turn memes here. But despite how fast the deck moves, it actually doesn't produce any Omni Negate whatsoever, which I think is an important point to bring up. Like, look at this end board here for a second. At a glance, it doesn't really seem probable to break that with 4 cards. But because the end board doesn't have any sort of blanket negate that stops whatever you want, you can actually break through with some pretty smart sequencing and have some really good games even when they make a full board. And to be honest, I can't express enough how good the mirror match actually feels for K9 Vanquish Soul. Games rarely feel like a blowout, regardless
I
of
mean,
who
I've
you
said
flip,
this
and it's
before,
honestly some
but
of the
if your
best fun
opponent knows
I've
what
had
they're
in
doing,
since I got back
they
into the
could
game. So,
probably...
like,
It doesn't
everyone
feel
who
that
plays
good.
K9 Vanquish Soul gets to have a good time and enjoy the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But what if you're not
But
playing Vanquish Soul?
that's
How is it
like
getting 0 Omni Negates completely
how it
dominating the game
goes,
where
right?
the game
Like,
is 7 negate end boards? How is it creating so much of a power gap to the point
the
where
deck
it
is
makes all
difficult to
completely
play, so
unfair?
it
And
should
that
probably
combination of
contribute
course
to
hints that this deck
more
has that makes it stand out far above the rest.
misplays.
So this one isn't a surprise to
So it's
anyone,
not
but I think
unreasonable
it's the
that
most
you'll have these
overrated thing when it
games
comes to this deck,
where...
and it's the whole subtopic of this video because the deck is almost
We'll
entirely
see.
quick effects.
I don't
it
know.
basically gets double the
I
damage
have
in turn
like...
of any other deck in the game, with maybe the next
I don't know,
best deck
when I
being
go
the deck
first in the mirror,
and
I
to me, this is
usually
part of
just
the reason
win.
why I like the deck so fun. You don't
So
get punished for winning
it
losing
doesn't
or
feel
whatever,
like
because
a...
you're usually able to play regardless of who wins it.
I mean, there's
Obviously,
some
obviously,
interesting
if you're not
interactions
playing K9
like
Vanquish Soul, but
Izuna
it
Wars that I should
doesn't really
be
matter when they can just play
more
the
mindful
Vanquish
of,
Soul
or
for the first action in the main phase. And it especially stings when you're playing
knowing
deck
that
and
Mad Love can
because unlike
bounce
K9 Vanquish Soul and
Lupus
Druid
on
Fairytale,
my
most decks need to rely on
turn.
traps to simplify the board state if they're going second.
Like if
Where
they...
K9 Vanquish Soul can play the
You
full
can
game
check the
with
Lupus
traps
with
on their
Mad
turn.
Love
And that
bounce,
especially feels bad
because
when you look at the decks in the
Lupus
next
has
turn.
like god-awful
So you lost 1
defense.
point, but at least you have some hand traps to try to fight back, right?
So that is actually kind of cool.
Right?
But...
While this deck doesn't produce an Omni Negate, Ripper might as well just be the next best thing. As if being able to play your whole deck.
And I guess that
doesn't
would
Ripper also
happen
limits
because
the amount of
not
actions you can
everyone
take
is
as the person
privy
playing
to
against
that
you. And it's not just
knowledge.
Ripper either. There's cards like Heavy Border and Caesar Values that allow you to dodge targeted interruption like
But
permanents. And
for
if
the
you're
most
just
part, I
relying
feel
on
like if I
hand
get to
traps, then it
Ripper
really does make
and
it feel a little miserable to play against. You have this uphill battle that you have to play against where half of your hand traps aren't going to work.
Enforce really
And
did
you pretty much
super
just
hard
have
to
sit
beat
there and
that.
watch them play the game. But hey, if you do push through, you'll be okay, right? Now, despite the themes and the pacing of this deck, it's actually not a combo deck at all, but instead it's actually a control deck designed with strong recursion to actually give the edge in the grind game. Cards like Rock of the Vanquisher allow you to recycle really good removal options, multiple non-targeting destruction, the ability to yoink a monster off the opponent's field, and it even has a built-in board wipe. All of this on top of the 2 monster negates that the end board produces. It's not a deck that you actually want to find yourself in a grind game against because it will outgrind you, which is rough when the deck can play on your turn and force you into a grind game before you even have the chance to set up. Stack all of that on top of the fact that the deck has an insane resource efficiency because it generally doesn't have to give up cards to generate more cards. And before you go ahead and dismantle all of your decks, keep in mind that this deck does have its weaknesses. Like without an Omni Negate, the deck is extremely brittle to board breakers. And by brittle, I mean the deck can basically do nothing at all about them.
I don't think that's true. Like evenly matched, what you're supposed to do is like first they have to telegraph the evenly match by going into main phase, end of main phase. You can just what's called, you can go ahead and that would be your cue to do force released, and then you still have like even if the evenly match resolves, like you can still like park in Holly Sue in your hand for main phase 2, and then you have a hand rip, so it's not that like difficult. I don't know. I never feel like I've lost to board breakers. You have SP in rotations, even easier. Like I don't know. It's because you have Holly. If you have Holly Sue in hand, it's like okay, yeah, board break me, sure. I can. You can usually recover. I mean, you can still misplay, right? If they have a called by, it could get like dicey, but it's still like very, very winnable. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's true. The board breaker thing is kind of meme. Like, okay, he showed what's the card called? Raw Ball. They have to use their normal summon for that, and like still have to play. You know, presumably Holly Sue in hand, trap. Because okay, if you're on board breakers, right, the likelihood that you're preventing Vanquish Soul from getting full board is very low, unless you have Droll. Like you still have to deal with the trap. I don't know. I've never really like. I don't know. I think it's kind of fake, the board breaker shit. I don't think I've ever lost to board breaker. If you know what you're doing, I guess that's the other thing. If like the whole like Vanquish Soul being hard to play, kind of feeds into like more misplays, and then because people misplay, it'll probably contribute to the perception that these board breakers are actually decent, when they probably just put your opponent in an unfamiliar situation and you just respond, like they just like freak out.
See a shift in some of the deck building philosophy in response to this deck's weaknesses. Like you've got Draco Tail decks that have replaced some of their hand traps with super polymerization, or decks like Yummy that are
Okay, I don't understand this. This is actually not true.
in response to this deck's weaknesses. Like you've got Draco Tail decks that have replaced.
I've never lost to Draco Tail with super poly. Like this is not true. Usually it's Nib, and like some combination of like, you know, they fool me, and then you know, it's most they still hand trap me to death, or they have, you know, they fool and then 5 mana me or something like that. Yeah, evenly as then I just keep the discard guy in Holly's on M2. That's not counting Lupus. Yeah, Lupus too. It's very, very difficult. Like you park a lot of stuff outside of the field. I don't know. I think okay, like super poly, it's probably Fua plus super poly or some shit, which is, but usually Nib is what makes a difference. Yeah, I don't know. This I don't know.
Some of their hand traps with super polymerization, or decks like Yummy that are replacing their hand traps that target with Forbidden Droplet just because it's better into the K9 match.
What? Droplet's okay into Vanquish Soul, but I think you still need to pair it. Like the targeting isn't the problem, because like there's only a few cards that like you can, okay, it's okay. The targeting part is not the problem. It's the fact that Imperm just won for once. You're still like, you know, if you Imperm like a Mad Love, even if they don't like target it, even if they don't have a guy to tag out, you're still praying that like they don't have like an additional, you know, they don't resolve a second card. It gets more complicated if they start with Stake Your Soul. Okay, like okay, your Imperm is probably gonna do even less because they still have their normal summon available. Like that's the issue. Droplet, I don't know. It's okay. I think again, it's just hoping your opponent misplays into the Droplet. I don't think this is true at all. Now that I'm paying attention to what he's saying, it's probably Fua plus Droplet that's cooking them. You know what I mean? Like, oh man.
Matchup. And when side decking is allowed, every deck seems to be using some combination of Book of Eclipse or Evenly Matched to give them the edge in the K9 matchup. And if you're running into K9 Vanquish Soul a lot on ladder, this might be something to try, because I know I've lost a lot of games to Evenly Matched. But now for the elephant in the room.
Bro. Okay, I get this is his experience, but I literally have never lost to Evenly Matched unless I made a like huge mistake.
Which is this too much? Because a lot of people feel like increasing the amount of turn 0 interactions like this is a step in the wrong direction. And if we freeze time at this very moment, then yeah, I do think K9 Vanquish Soul is probably doing too much. But I don't think that's a bad thing, and hear me out on this. When I look at more modern release decks compared to older decks, there definitely seems to be a design philosophy shift with Konami where they're wanting more turn 0 interaction that doesn't just end on one player having a negate pile. And right now, yeah, it does seem pretty unfair that K9 Vanquish Soul and Hana Draco Tail are the only decks that can really interact with the opponent like this on their turn. But that won't be true forever. We're constantly seeing Konami announce more and more turn 0 interaction cards that don't just say negate on them. And eventually that kind of power is going to spread to a whole number of different decks. And while K9 Vanquish Soul might be a power outlier right now, I think the mirror match is a good glimpse at what Konami wants the future of this game to look like. And like I said, I love the mirror match. While I see the content creators around me doomsay the end of this game and say how the game is dying or it's already ruined, I don't see it that way. To me, this actually gets me excited for the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because if more decks are able to interact this way on turn 0, then it's going to deliver a lot more interesting gameplay.
Those comments are like low-hanging fruit.
But I still think it's a step in the right direction. I don't think a high density.
I don't think it's worth like addressing those. Like everyone's gonna say. I think it's okay to be afraid of what's coming next. Like Cool Tune, very unfamiliar deck. You know, there's definitely a lot of JP tweets that were during one of the broadcasted tournaments, YCSJs or whatever, that were like, oh dude, this is nasty, I hate that Cool Tune can peek into your shit. It doesn't feel good like to get checkmated. And in response I'm playing like Retaliating Sea to see if it like actually stops. I think I don't know, I've opened all gas hands into Cool Tune. It's happened, it's worked out, but my opponents also don't use their interactions correctly too, so it's like I don't know. Anyway, the point is like everyone's gonna Doom post. and I don't know. It's like
to be able
not,
to sit down for a
not
game
worth
and
it.
fully interact with each other, regardless of who actually won the coin flip. But that's just kind of my hot take. What do you guys think? Do you think Konami's actually taking a step in the right direction with this as well? Or do you think that this new design philosophy is stepping away from Konami's roots and ruining the game? Hashtag not my Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'm genuinely curious to see what you guys think, because maybe I'm wrong and feeling excited about this. If you like this video, why not check out some of my other videos?
What
If
is
not,
wrong
just
with
go ahead
feeling
and check out
excited? There's nothing wrong with that. Ban Ash? Ban Ash. True. Yu-Gi-Oh! Skull Guardian card discussion. Please. Please do not read the entire voiceless voice archetype.
What's up, Yugi Chad? This Freezes here with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Card discussion video.
Oh wait, hold on before I do this. This load? Oh shit. Oh shit. Alright. Finally this loaded. Alright. I don't know. I'll do full screen.
Move only 1 foot? Okay, I see what you mean like this. Oh, I know what you mean. I put it in the I put it in the
Bruh. No, it's based on Brazilian Kratos.
You're talking about this, right? Go ahead.
This is crazy technology. What the hell? That's kind of funny.
No. How ghastly are born?
Ghastly are born. Okay. Stellar ASMR. The Holy Peak.
March is the ritual month, so we're going to be talking about ritual monsters all month long.
Alright, thank you for
We're gonna
sharing.
be
That was
starting
pretty
it
funny.
off hot with a really cool one here called Skull Guardian. Alright, so let's talk about Skull Guardians first, and only printing in the OCG. So he was originally released all the way back in March of 2000 in the Dark Ceremony Edition set here, and basically it was kind of like a set that was released during tournament occasions, which was kind of interesting. And it was meant to kind of expand upon the Premium Pack 2 that was released prior to it. And this set consisted of 16 cards that were super rares, which Skull Guardian and his ritual card Novox Prayer were printed as super rares. Luckily, though, these cards aren't very much money. You can get these for pretty cheap if you want to add this card to your collection, because you probably already know the English printing of this card is quite expensive. But that is the only printing this card has ever received over in the OCG. Kind of crazy because it's a pretty cool one. But he has gotten retrained, obviously, which we'll get into a little bit here later on in the video. But yeah, crazy to me that this card has never at least gotten another reprint or something in the OCG. Absolutely absurd. Now, on over to the TCG with our first and only printing of Skull Guardian as well. So he was released all the way back in October 2002 in the Tournament Pack second season as a rare.
Oh yeah. No Vox's prayer? Vox means voice. No voice. Voiceless voice. Eh? Hey, it's not random. It's not
I know,
random.
it's kind of crazy that this card itself, just like the OCG variant here, has only been printed once. And his initial release, he really wasn't worth any money because he was a rare, and he's honestly not really a good card at all at the time. And it's funny now because he's actually one of the more expensive
Five
cards
head,
to actually
yeah.
collect. I've seen this thing on eBay going
That's
up
what I'm saying,
like
that's what I'm
$300
saying.
at times, but it seems like the median price is around like 200 to 150 or so for ones that are a little more beat, I guess, you know, like a little more wear and tear on them, I guess I should say. But yeah, this card is a pretty cool one. I really wish I could add it to my collection, but I just don't want to pay that price for a single rare card. But this card would actually see another release over in Korea in their version of Tournament Pack 2 as a rare as well, so kind of interesting. That one might be a little cheaper to get your hands on. I haven't actually looked at prices on it. Some of the Korean cards can be expensive depending, but typically Korean cards are pretty cheap. But Skull Guardian here, this would not be the very last time he'd actually ever be printed. He actually did get somewhat more of a recent printing in 2024 in the Asian English version of Phantom Nightmare, which is kind of interesting. He was printed as a common, and they even kind of changed his summoning requirements as well, probably to make him more playable. But we'll get more into that a little later in the video here as we talk about this card's design. But he was printed as a common there, so he's pretty easy to get. He's in Asian English, so technically you could probably get this card depending. I know some of the Asian sellers do kind of overcharge on things over here for us in the West because they can, due to having exclusive cards and such. And this is one of those things. So at least this card has, I guess, in a sense, technically gotten an English reprint, not as a foil though, which is kind of sad, I guess. You know, this is a card that definitely deserves at least another super rare printing in English, anyways. But I mean, if you want to get a cheaper version of this card, you can pick this one up, the Asian English common. I haven't checked the prices myself, but I would assume it's not too bad. But yeah, so that's pretty much all there is for printings of this guy. We're going to talk a little bit more about the card itself and its artwork as well, since it's actually one of the coolest artworks in my opinion in the earlier days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so Skull Guardian here. We're going to talk about his design and his playability here, because honestly, this is probably one of the worst ritual cards that they released earlier on, because this card is just not good, which is a shame, because it's such a cool looking card. But anyway, Skull Guardian here, he's obviously a ritual monster. He's a light type, or light attribute, sorry, level 7, warrior type monster, and he's a ritual. So his summoning effect here, his requirements to bring him out on the field are a bit ridiculous. So right here it says, this monster can only be ritual summoned with a ritual magic card, Novox Prayer. You must also offer monsters whose total level of stars
Yeah, it's
equals 7 or
low.
more on the field or your hand. So that is just ridiculous. So if you wanted to play this card,
Retrain
back in
to
the
one
day,
of
it
the
requires
best,
a bunch
nice.
of bricks. And if you play early Yu-Gi-Oh formats, bricky cards are not good. You know, the high level guys. Really, the only one that was really worth using.
Even
was
better
Dragon
than
because
Habakiri?
He had, Flute of
I
a
guess
Dragon in order to get your
Habakiri
combo
has no
into,
retrain.
level 7 or higher dragons, or any type of dragon, I guess.
But the
typically
glow
over
up
here.
is immaculate.
Skull Guardian here requires you to use a bunch of these cards that, they're just going to break up your hand. So maybe he'd be okay to run in maybe some sort of weird Blue Eyes Light Dragon deck or something. But even then, the stats on this guy are just atrocious in terms of early Yu-Gi-Oh! For the the amount of resources you had to spend to get him out with a 2050 attack and 2500 defense. Not very good. Maybe you could equip him with some things. Obviously, if you do an Axe of Despair on him, he could get over a Blue Eyes. But this guy just is not really worth running. He's definitely a cool collector's piece by all means, but just not a good playable card, unfortunately. But the interesting thing about the reprint here that came out in the Phantom Nightmare set for the Asian English market is the fact that now it just says you can ritual summon this card with no box prayer. So it seems that they've errated this card, taking away the sort of ridiculous summoning condition that it originally had, making it a lot more easier to play, and that's more kind of nice, honestly. And you can probably squeeze this into a Voiceless Voice deck, because the interesting thing about this reprint of Skull Guardian is that he was released in the same set that the Voiceless Voice things came in, and the retrain of Skull Guardian with the Skull Guardian Protector of the Voiceless Voice, which I think is pretty awesome. I really do enjoy that one. I'm having a lot of fun with it still, and highly recommend to build it because it is cheap now. So, but yeah, that's the design of this guy. It's kind of crazy in the initial release of this card. I honestly, I wonder what kind of drugs did the game designers at Konami were smoking when they came up with some of these cards like this, with these effects. Like, why though? Like, he doesn't have any crazy effect that would make him super busted, that would require you to have such a ridiculous summoning condition. You know, it's kind of nuts. But we're gonna get into the artwork of this guy here. Alright, so for the artwork of Skull Guardian here, he's definitely one of the coolest in my opinion. I really love the artwork on this. The design of him is just really cool. Like, honestly, he would look like a really sick action figure I would have loved as a kid, you know, like, if I had a toy of this, I would have absolutely adored it. But, yeah, he just looks so dope. Like, I love those big-ass shoulder pads that he has there, that helmet design of his arms that are swords are just really cool, and they look pretty nasty. They could probably, you know, screw you up pretty bad. He also has those spikes on the back where his elbows would be as well, so
Little
kind of cool.
dinosaur
perhaps, you know, if he
helmet.
gets surrounded, he can just kind of jab back
Little
with his elbow.
Triceratops horn.
Somebody's trying to come up behind him, so pretty crazy. That'd probably help you out quite a bit if you're in prison and you accidentally drop the soap, you know, but yeah. But,
Okay.
design is sick. He looks pretty menacing, even though he's a light monster and he's a warrior.
I did
type,
not
he
expect
definitely
the
has that
Boondocks
fiend
to show
look,
up.
kind of fiendish warrior. But in the Japanese version of this card here, his actual name is Law Guardian, where over here in the TCG they probably screwed up in the translation, calling him Skull Guardian, which kind of makes him out to be more of a fiend type monster, obviously. But you know, there's a lot of these weird translation errors and such in the game in the earlier days. But he still looks really cool regardless if he was bad or good. And I really do like that background on him, and I think it does kind of help with that whole like, you know, sinister kind of look that he has. You know, being that darker, kind of like almost a really dark magenta kind of color, I guess you could say, mixed in with the black there. So it really kind of gives more of a, you know, I wouldn't say demonic, but kind of like a more fiendish, you know, I guess you could say demonic kind of look to him. But you know, that's what I just love about those old simple backgrounds though. Look, it's just gorgeous. It's just kind of a bunch of random shapes and such, and it just suits him very well. And it's kind of like two really contradicting colors in a sense too, with his brown kind of beige sort of armor there with that magenta background, but it just works really nicely. It's kind of cool. I also like the color of his skin tone too. It's like almost like a bluish kind of gray there, like a very light. I'm trying to think, maybe cobalt would be the right color. I think that would be, but it looks really good. Also, the joints on his shoulders and his elbows are interesting as well. They're like little balls. So
Yeah, a little
very interesting
bionicle
how that would work technically. It's
balls.
kind of like a toy or something. You know, it reminds me of like action figures that had little movable joints or something that you would see back in the day. What comes to mind like some of those old Dragon Ball Z toys and stuff. But yeah, definitely really cool looking card here. Really cool looking monster. He also has that cool little spike coming out of the mouth of his helmet or whatever that is that he's wearing. And it's kind of hard to tell. I would assume, yeah, that's probably a helmet because he has armor on and stuff. So I wonder what his actual face looks like. If it's kind of like a, I almost like, I don't know. I think he might look like a reptilian type creature or something like that underneath that helmet. But the thing that's kind of creepy about him too is the fact that we're like the little area where his eyes would probably be, you know, peering through is just completely dark and shadowed out. As we're on the retrain of this artwork, they're more shining green. So kind of cool. He definitely has a lot more of a sinister look on his older artwork here compared to his newer one, which we'll get into shortly. And I just want to make mention too here of the Dark Duel Stories version of this card. It looks really good. It definitely is a little bit different, but it's practically the exact same as the real life counterpart. He's in pretty much the
He's
same
all
position,
skinny.
you know, close, but just the colors are a lot more brighter, a lot more vibrant. Obviously, his armor is more of a lighter brown, which I really dig. I like it quite a bit.
thin
And I
neck.
really love that background voice. Just that bright, vibrant red mixed in with the bits of darker red in there. Just looks excellent. Pure Kino.
Oh yeah.
I also really like
looks cool.
the gold collar around his neck there, where it's more of like a bone kind of beige sort of color, I guess, on the artwork, the real card itself. So yeah, but pretty cool. Nothing like too different. Just the coloring is changed up. The background's a little different on the Dark Duel Stories too, but it looks really good. All right, so this here is Skull Guardian, Protector of the Voiceless Voice. This is the retrain of Skull Guardian, and my goodness, boys, it is a quite a step up, I guess you could say. He does retain a lot of the same look and stuff as the original in terms of coloring and stuff like that. He still has that kind of brownish, kind of beige sort of coloring to his armor, but you do get a lot more gold in there, and I would say he's a lot more majestic looking than his original version there. And dare I even say angelic to a degree with all the you know, white, you know, glowy kind of stuff going on in the back. Even that background has almost like a stained glass kind of design, which is actually kind of cool because they did retain that original background design from the original card here with all the kind of random shapes and stuff, but it just looks more like a churchy, I guess you could say, with that sort of stained glass kind of look to it. I also have a bunch of feathers floating around in here as well, as you can see. It's kind of like you know, it looks like little.
I didn't notice the
like
feathers.
blue energy orbs kind of floating around him. He's got a bunch of ribbons, and it also has that kind of border around it that sort of looks like angelic, kind of you know, high class, you know, majestic, I guess is what I'm really trying to look for here. But you typically see
The
that on
ribbons
old,
I can see.
you know, medieval kind of things. But he definitely looks like some
Like
kind of,
I haven't
you know,
I've seen
angelic
like
now, as opposed to his original here, where he looks more fiendish, more evil, I guess you could say, right? You could definitely pin this guy in his original armor.
oh shoot, he has like these like I didn't even realize they're not horizontal spikes, but hey, they look kind of shiced. Okay, the kind of weird how his knees are bent, but I'm not gonna. It looks really weird. Like it looks like he's leaning. I don't know, bro. I shouldn't have seen his knees because the way he's. Oh, I don't. Okay, the perspective is too.
Where his newer
It's
version here
fucked for
definitely
me.
fits up to the, you know, Law Guardian name, I guess you could say. One thing that is pretty interesting though to me is the fact that his blades have increased in size here, like big time. So he's definitely a lot more deadlier. His shoulder pads as well. As the original here, shoulder pads are a little more shorter, and these ones are very
Like okay, the reason why I'm like because it looks like he's towering above you, right? Because you have these, but then you see his legs here that are like bent forward because you have, you know, his. You could probably pull all this off. It's just weird. Like if you focus on this, it's not too bad. You focus on this, it's also not too bad. But combined, it's like it's hard to see it. I don't know. I just treated it like, you know, JoJo pose or something. You know.
gets it, kind of like to the point of absurdity, but it's so cool at the same time, you know. Also, one of the things that's interesting too about his sword arms here is the fact that on the original, I did point out that he has these spikes on the elbows, right? Well, over here he has at least 3 of those on the bottom of his sword, so that's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah,
I also do like
97.
the armor padding on the legs and such, and on those kind of like that sort of skirt kind of thing there that's attached to those joints, which is interesting as well. So could these things also be used as weapons, perhaps? I don't know. But the thing I do like about them on these golden bits is that they have those little designs going on. So
I
it
do
makes
like
them
these
kind of
ribbons.
majestic
I can
and
like.
look cool. And you know, also some little joints I want to point out
97.
as well. So in the original here, they're more like kind of a darker blue with a slight kind of turquoise coloring to them, very very slightly. But the actual one here has more
87,
of that kind of
77,
teal turquoise color. It's a lot more bright.
76.
It's a lot more
Yes.
accentuated compared to the original. So kind of interesting there. Also his helmet,
67,
same
yes.
design. We don't get to see a full frontal shot of him in the original, so we don't know exactly what it looks like. But I do like that kind of T-visor thing that sort of goes down. It kind of looks like some pilot wings or something like that on where his eyes would be at. And I think I may have mentioned that the eyes glow, but they do not. And I was thinking of the mock-up art of this guy, kind of like the test thing, which I'll show here in a second. But I do really like that visor. It looks pretty cool. It gives him like that kind of, you know, majestic look, but he's also menacing. He's kind of looking down at you like he's about to like rip you into pieces. You know, very cool looking. And the card itself, the design of it.
Yeah, like he said, he looks like he's looking down, but like his knees are bent forward, so it makes me think he's leaning back. So I mean, I'm not gonna overthink it though. It looks cool. It looks cool still. Like, oh, I just noticed the little balls. They're glowing, little bionicle joints. Me when I want to check if KBJ's in check.
Gameplay is pretty good too, and it's fitting for that kind of like look of him. Like he's kind of ascending from the heavens almost, and he's coming
6'7",
down to fuck you up because he gains that extra like 2,000 attack,
6'7".
bumping up I think 2150 or 4150 I think, right? Or no, 4100 I think. I can't remember exactly. I'll have to actually look at the card, but he gets up there like at least 4,000 attack. He's pretty crazy, but yeah, yeah, really nice artwork on this. It's very good, but I would say it's a little too busy with these backgrounds. Like I mentioned before, a
Balls,
lot of
yes,
these newer Yu-Gi-Oh
balls.
cards, the backgrounds
Dude, he
are
doesn't have
crazy.
balls here. Where's his balls go? Oh, okay, there's some balls here. But he doesn't have them
What's going on.
anymore.
I hope Konami does
Look, he's like a 6-pack.
kind of bring back the old style, just giving us these simple, nice kind of backgrounds on the older cards, because the monsters and the artwork of like, you know, what are the traps or spells are kind of should be the ones that, you know, the focus is on. When you have too much of a busy background, it really kind of takes away, but it doesn't do it as much as Skull Guardian, Protector of the Voiceless Voice here, just because he's at the forefront here, he's the center of the, you know, the image. But some
See,
of
he's
the
got all these balls.
cards, some of these monsters and things just kind of blend into the background a little too much, but this one is able to escape that. But yeah, definitely really great artwork. I like it quite a bit. Now let's take a look here at the mock-up or the concept art of this
Oh,
guy.
shit.
It looks pretty cool.
I love
basically
these.
the exact same as we see in the actual card itself, aside from the posing and the detail is not as you know, good on the mock-up here, obviously, since it's just, you know, it's concept drawing essentially.
What are
But
these
really
called
interesting
again?
kind of
Are these called pauldrons? Or are they just like shoulder pads? I forgot. Like there's like a pauldron. Yeah, they are pauldrons. Okay, yeah, these things are called pauldrons, like the things on the shoulders. Pants grab. Bro, this guy got swords for hands.
just the way
He's
he
gonna cut
moves
you.
and just the way he looks. But as you can see, though, the eyes glow, and I think that would have probably that'd be pretty cool to have that on the.
Maybe it's not
here,
quite
but,
pauldrons.
You know, it kind of works
but,
either way. I do like the.
I imagine
complete black outline there.
pauldrons
Gives more of a menacing kind of look, but the
would
eyes
cover
too, that kind of greenish
your upper
glowing eye
forearm.
would have looked pretty cool. But yeah, definitely a cool looking thing here. Maybe they'll give us an alt art or something with him in this pose, or maybe a different version of him as like a Synchro or a Exceed monster or a Link or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah. And I just wanted to make a little quick mention too of the more finished full art of this guy, I guess you could say. Over on Duel Links, they'll have some of these monsters here, and they'll give them like more to them. You know, you get to see more of their body and stuff. And Skull Guardian's one of those cards that got it. And as you can see here, he definitely looks more kind of he definitely does not look as majestic as his retrained here. He has that kind of like armored skirt kind of thing, almost looking like Dragon Ball Z Saiyan battle armor almost with the leg and crotch guards. But his boots are pretty cool, and he has those two big ass spikes coming up at the knee pads. That's pretty badass. Really does remind me of like some kind of like an orc or something from like maybe Lord of the Rings. I'm thinking more so Warcraft 2. So I think the orc grunts actually do have those spikes coming off their knee pads, but that's completely, you know, we're not a video game channel here, but yeah. But yeah, I really do like the full artwork of this guy with the, you know, waist below kind of showing. Pretty cool design. We will see a little bit more of it here in the cartoon appearances of this guy, which we're going to be getting into now. Alright, so for the show appearances of Skull Guardian here, he actually doesn't really show up in the mainline series, unfortunately. All he really gets is just a small little cameo in card form in episode 43 when Yugi, Joey, and Mokuba are walking by a card vendor in town in that, you know, that virtual world thing that Kaiba got kidnapped in and stuff. But that's the only time I actually ever got to see him technically in the show itself, the main show. But where he does actually get to shine is in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters here in episode 6. I'll just read a little blurb as to what went on with him here. So basically, Skull Guardian is in the Trial of Light and Shadows, and appearing as a creature of darkness after Joey's flame swordsman defeated Prisman. Skull Guardian rose to take his place, easily overpowering him and Tristan. Yami Yugi arrives in time to save them, merging with Dark Magician to overpower the apparent creature of darkness. However, he stopped Joey from dealing the finishing blow, doing this proved righteousness and peacefulness, which won the trial for them. And that's the cool thing about Capsule Monsters is that it gave more screen time to a lot of these monsters that otherwise didn't get any in the main series. And luckily for Skull Guardian, he got a pretty decent little role there for being one of the coolest ritual monsters. You know, he definitely is deserving of having some screen time because he is a really cool looking monster. So yeah, but with that, boys, we're gonna get into the video game stuff with this guy now. All right, so for the video game portion here, typically I just cover Forbidden Memories and Duels of the Roses, and sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh! Bam because they have some interesting, you know, changes to some cards that are included in it, such as Skull Guardian, which we'll get to at the end of the segment. But first off, Forbidden Memories, Skull Guardian here, as you notice, he is a vanilla monster, just like every monster in this game. For whatever reason, they didn't use effects or like proper rituals, fusions, and so on. They're all treated as normal vanilla monsters. And Skull Guardian here, like everybody else, he now has a flavor text, which is pretty cool. And it says here, a guardian of the law that doesn't forgive cheating, attacks enemies with its sword-like arms. So pretty cool little description, gives us a little bit of background.
no
as to what he
cheating,
does,
all right?
Indicates cheating. So Bandit Keith better watch out for this guy, I guess, right?
You plan on
Yeah,
pants grabbing, you better not be cheating.
That he attacks with them, pretty cool little little thing there. I mean, obvious, right? But yeah. But yeah, so Skull Guardian here, he's basically the exact same thing as his real-life counterpart. He is a warrior-type monster, light attribute, same stats with 2550 attack, 2500 defense, and also level 7. Only main difference is that he's treated as a vanilla monster, but the funny thing is, in order to bring him out, you still need to use No Box Prayer to summon him. And you'll see this with a lot of these ritual cards that we have in the real-life game that are over here in Forbidden Memories. They'll typically need some sort of a ritual to bring them out. And we even have some cards that, you know, they're normal cards, like say Tryhard Dragon, for example. He's a normal level 8 dragon in the actual card game itself. But in this game here in Forbidden Memories, you need a ritual card to bring him out. So there are some changes here and there. But Skull Guardian, though he has the vanilla, you know, appearance here in the flavor text, he's still treated as a ritual monster. And in order to bring him out, you need to activate No Box Prayer, and you have to sacrifice M Warrior number 1 and M Warrior number 2, as well as Kamakiri Man, which is kind of interesting because Kamakiri Man here, he's an insect-type monster who has these, you know, sword-like.
Is Kamakiri in this game? No way.
I guess so. That's kind of funny how they correlated that.
No
with
way.
using both the M Warriors
No
and
way.
the Kamakiri Man.
They
I find
know
that hilarious.
ball.
So I guess in a sense, from the designers of this game, maybe the idea was that he's some kind of a insect warrior fusion kind of deal or something. I don't know. But his card itself.
I think one of the best cards in
such
this
as
game is
Legendary
fucking
Sword,
Thunder
Insect Armor,
Dragon.
Laser Cannon, Horn of Light, Kunai with Chain, Megamorph, and of course Bright Castle. So many cards you can equip with him, and you can make him nice and strong there, especially with that 2050 attack. You can definitely boost him up in late game and get him to be, you know, a pretty decent contender against the late game enemies that you'll be facing. Now for combinations of fusions that you can do with this guy, if you're to use the Judgment Hand, which goes with any warrior, it will summon Judgment, which I find kind of funny because Judgment is technically a level below Skull Guardian, but he does have 2200 attack, so it is a fair enough trade as you're getting more attack power. But yeah, if you're going to be spending the time to bring out Skull Guardian using all those cards and stuff like that, I would probably just stick with Skull Guardian myself. Alright, so we're going to take a look at his model here, because this is actually a pretty decent one for Forbidden Memories. It's actually, as you can see, quite a bit of detail here. I really do like the style of him. You get a full body shot. I like how he has those ripples in his pants there as well. It looks pretty cool. Or is that muscles? I can't really tell, you know, old school graphics, but cool pose on him. Looks pretty good. The detailing on it is pretty good for the time, compared to some of the other models out there. Plus, for such a pretty much unknown card at the time, too, I guess. You know, this was one that was, you know, many kids really even knew about since it was a tournament pack exclusive. But he also has a pretty cool attack animation here, too. He runs up there and slices and dices his enemies. Pretty awesome model, I'll say. It's pretty good. But let's get into the Duels of the Roses here. Alright, so for the Duels of the Roses here, Skull Guardian is now treated as an effect monster, which is pretty interesting. He has
Isn't this guy ritual? Yeah. I haven't played Forbidden Memories.
And a level 7 once again, just like the
But I don't think
but
there's ritual
says
spells in
900
this
point bonus
game.
for battling theme type monsters. When this card is split face up, strengthen all light monsters by 300 points. That's actually not a terrible effect, honestly. And maybe too bad that the actual real card had all that text there for the requirements of his summoning. They could have just you know, given an effect kind of like that.
Honestly, the game's unrecognizable.
Including himself, that would have been a lot better. But yeah, pretty.
It was probably all
there,
never
run
touch it.
All light deck or something like that. He also has some deck leader abilities such as extended support range and he weakens specific type.
Also, the game
types,
is also
sorry,
super
strength,
hard.
spellcasters,
I ain't
by
built
-500
for
attack
that.
and defense. His fusion combinations here. So he can also, once again, in this game, do Judgment Man with Judgment Hand. And he can also make a Punished Eagle with a Wind Beast plus a Warrior type. So kind of interesting. Those are the only fusions you can do with him in this game. But we're going to take a little look here at his model because it definitely does look a lot better than the Forbidden Memories version. And as we can see here, the model looks pretty good. It's funny because he's pretty much in the exact same pose as he was in Forbidden Memories. But his pants there, his legs, what looked like his pants before, are a bit different. It looks more like skin now, as where in the Forbidden Memories model, it looked more kind of like they're like, you know, those ripples in the pants or whatever, you know, the folds and stuff. But he does look pretty good in this Duels of the Roses version here. Animations are a lot better, obviously. The attack animation is pretty cool too. And I just want to make a quick little comment. The thing about the field card there, you know, for the Warriors, I think it's Sogen, right? Why are there windmills, electronic windmills all over the place? That's just funny to me. But yeah, this card looks pretty good. We actually are able to get a whole 360 view of him here. Looks pretty identical to the actual card. Would be cool to see a updated model, perhaps with the retrain. You know, it would look kind of cool. But the original is definitely pretty badass. I like this one a lot. And yeah, pretty good look model. And now for Yu-Gi-Oh! Bam. He actually does have a version here, guys, and it's a little crazy actually. All right, so for Yu-Gi-Oh! Bam here, Skull Guardian is one of the cards that got chosen to be in it. And right away, as you can see, they made him a level 10, which is kind of nuts. Once again, I don't really know how this game really even works. I haven't even like looked into it because I really don't care, to be honest. But I just like these little changes. You know, they're kind of interesting. But as you can see here, they did knock him down 50 points on his attack, just making it straight 2,000. But he still retains the same defense power at 2,500. But he is treated as an effect monster here, and he has an ability called Sneak, which says here destroy your opponent's monster before it attacks, which seems pretty cool, kind of neat. And he also has a secondary effect called Requiem 900. Your opponent's monsters lose power when this monster is destroyed. That's not a terrible effect either, actually. You know, especially if you're playing like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! And say you got an enemy boss monster, your opponent has a boss monster on the field. That negative 900 could really cripple that monster severely. That's quite a bit of a decrease. So not a bad effect, but just kind of interesting. I figured I'd point it out to you guys. But we're gonna move on over to the live portion of the video where I show off my copy of this guy and I talk about my experiences with it. Alright boys, this be my copy here of Skull Guardian. I got the nice Japanese super rare because the English version is just way too much money. I can't even come to terms with $18 for a card, let alone $200 to $300 for just one card. So this version here, the super rare, the Japanese one, very cheap alternative. It's better too because it's a super and it has
It also has an ability called
but,
Poo Poo
I think it's
97.
for like $5 or $6 off eBay or maybe even cheaper. Maybe in pretty good condition. I would recommend doing that. Obviously, you can also get the common reprint from the Phantom Nightmare from the Asian English iteration of that set, which will probably, I haven't checked prices myself, but I would assume it's cheap, probably not that expensive. But I would just go with the cool Japanese super if anything. But anyway, Skull Guardian here, definitely a super cool card. I remember way back in the day when I first saw it, it was either on Forbidden Memories or it was that website, I think it's called Toy Wiz, where they sold Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I think that site's still around to this day, and I think they're very overpriced. But yeah, I remember they used to sell Japanese cards on there too, and I may have seen it on there, but I think for some reason I seen it in Forbidden Memories. It was my first experience with the card. But regardless, I remember thinking that this card was hella sick. I wanted it because it looked so cool, and you can't deny he's definitely one of the cooler looking Duel Monsters era monster cards out there.
It does look nice for a super.
Experience with this card, probably all the way back. I'd say it's around 2003ish. You know, so it's a little while after Tournament Pack Season 2 came out. I was at my locals on like a Saturday, I think, like an afternoon, just kind of hanging out. I was perusing the the whole glass case there with all the cool cards that I wanted and the binders and all those things. And you know, there's a bunch of kids there. Everybody's kind of like, you know, hanging out playing Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or whatever was being done at the time. And this older kid came in. He was probably about like 14, 15. I remember him rolling in on some rollerblades. And he had like a whole stack of cards he was looking to sell. He came to the tournaments and stuff like that. I would see him in there on Saturdays and stuff. But I remember he was talking to the shop owner, and he was, you know, he gave him a stack of cards, like, you know, he's looking to sell. You know, so he, the shop owner there's like going through the cards, and I see a Skull Guardian there, the rare from Tournament Pack 2, and I remember thinking like, oh damn, dude, I want that so bad, you know, because I'd seen it in the game or online or whatever, and I really wanted that card. I thought it was so cool. And that was the only card I think that the shop owner bought, and he gave him $2 for it. Okay, and the kid's like, yeah, I'll take it for the $2 for that card or whatever. And I remember thinking at that time, I was like, I wish I had $2 so I could give him that, 'cause I really want that card. But at the time, you know, I was like only 10 or 11 or something. You know, I didn't have like the money. So unfortunately, I could not own
Under
a
10
Skull Guardian,
minutes?
but I did see one in person.
Ooh, I could
And I
go
just
for
think,
some
you know, about this kid, he
breakfast.
probably sold that. Now he's grown up, obviously now. Makes me wonder if he ever got back into.
I have a
the price of
Danish
Skull Guardian,
from
he'd take himself in the
Costco.
ass with, you know,
But I also
$2
have like a
and,
cherry
with
tart
its price now. But yeah, that was my experience with
from
the Skull
Sam's
Guardian.
Club.
It would be cool to own the actual card itself, but like yeah, TCG version, I should say, to be more specific. But I'm not gonna pay that kind of money. Hopefully we get a reprint or something. At least a foil version in English. That'd be pretty cool. But anyways, boys, that's all I got to say about this card for today. Thank you for watching. Remember to stay based. God bless. Keep your cards on the mat. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Oh, that was cute. I did enjoy that. I didn't know there was a lot to say about Skull Guardian. Okay, we might as well get this one out of the way. 99.97 success rate. And it's fucking Duel Links. How old is this FTK though? I've already seen the Destiny Hero FTK. Bruh. It ain't that hard. Okay, I'll just close these. Maybe that's why. Okay, we're good. Oh, RY! This guy has like very, very impractical FTKs, but they're pretty funny. The following of Elephant Statue of Disasters really are referred to as bricks. I see. Rescue Rabbit Call. You can only use the skill's first effect once per duel. Place up to 2 level 4 monsters or normal monsters from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then draw the same number of cards. Then play 1 Rescue Rabbit from your deck in face down defense position. Brother, hello, regular Reggie. Hello, brother. I guess that, okay, I guess it is pretty consistent. I could see, okay, I see it. This shit got patched? Okay, that makes sense. I don't know how old this shit is, but it definitely seems like it predated the Therion FTKs and the D Hero hand loops, which are like the current ones. You guys. It's a Borvaz. I feel yeah. It's kind of crazy that. Good to see another Reggie. You're welcome. Well, who's your favorite Reggie? I was asked that, and as a joke, I said Reggie Iced because I saw that one image of a Reggie Ice with a bunch of diamonds. But my favorite's actually Reggie Drago. Ileki's cool though. I do like the newer one. Oh hell yeah, V-Lan Hydra. Oh my god, that's nasty. I guess I should have seen the Into the Void coming. Reggie Miller? Nice. Kind of crazy that like this is like a really easy number you can piss. Like just fart out. Sphere mode? That makes sense. But I thought there was like FTKs to counteract that. But I guess like that's the... All right, have a good breakfast. Never played DL? Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Master Duel, you're still playing like. I mean, it's never too late to play DL. DL has some like, I think they have this one. Like, if you ever, I don't know if you're interested, but like, I guess it's worth saying that they have these character duels. Apparently, it's like a good opportunity to get staples or something. But yeah. Meta-wise, nah, okay. Yeah, so yeah, the monetization is probably better now. Doing actual meta deck? I don't think it's the case anymore because of the character duels. There's probably more things going on. Okay, I think I get the concept. Okay, I think all right. For PvE, I think that's a big reason why it's still popular because of the PvE. I know quite a few people who don't really play PvP. It's literally just they log in for the PvE. Okay, we already got this done. That's it. I have to log in to do some PvE stuff for the Duelist Point thing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship that broke the internet. Okay, this is Team Sam X. Oh, actually, let's just do an LSE video. Because of playing 4 hours every day to get sufficient gems. Sag.
Recently, I learned how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it in a card, but it's about an hour long where I talk about my experiences, learning the game, and everything that was going on. And frankly, there wasn't enough time in that video to go over every idiosyncrasy of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's a pretty unique game in terms of the TCG space. And rather than making that video like 2 hours long or going really deep on a bunch of different topics, I figured that I would just plan to make more videos later about some of the elements of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I found particularly interesting. The first one that I want to talk about is the extra deck. The extra deck is the most unique element of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think. Many things about Yu-Gi-Oh! Are unique, the resource system is very different, but the extra deck is the thing that I think really sets it apart from most other TCGs. That's not to say that other TCGs haven't adopted similar mechanics at times. The most obvious one is that like Magic the Gathering's Commander format is literally centered around a 1-card extra deck, which is your commander. So I mean, it's not as though these things don't exist, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is certainly the first and is certainly the one that takes this mechanic of having a separate deck of cards that are functionally always accessible to you to its greatest heights. What is the extra deck? If you're coming to this not knowing 100% how this works, let me give you the kind of Cliff's Notes version of how the extra deck works. The extra deck is a 15-card deck that is separate from your main deck and side deck or sideboard, and at any time, if you can fulfill the summoning conditions of a monster in your extra deck, you may do so. It should be noted, by the way, that extra deck cards are always monsters. There are no spells or traps that go in the extra deck. There are a couple of different types of extra deck monsters. There are Link monsters, there are XYZ or XZ monsters, there are Synchro monsters, and there are Fusion monsters. These 4 types were all introduced at varying different times. Link is the newest, Fusion is the oldest, I believe, and they have slightly different mechanics under which they need to be summoned. I'm not going to talk about specifically how that works here right now, but all you need to know is that the different decks are going to be typically focused on different types of extra deck monsters. You'll have decks that are focused on summoning a bunch of different Link monsters. You'll have decks that are focused on summoning a bunch of Synchro monsters. And what this does, what the extra deck does, is introduce consistency into Yu-Gi-Oh! In a way that doesn't exist in basically any other game. Basically, with the extra deck, if you can fulfill the basic summoning requirements of your extra deck monster, you can often unlock the rest of the combo that your deck is trying to accomplish through the extra deck.
Sure, no, like, I mean, that's pretty.
Most of the time, that is in fact the case. And so, as a result, this is one of the main driving forces for why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really
That's
fast
pretty
and short
impressive.
games,
Like,
and why
a lot of
engines
people
tend to be so powerful.
I mean,
they're very consistent,
no,
and they're not reliant on drawing 2 or 3 cards.
nothing
before
wrong
you have
with
main
it,
deck.
but,
Oftentimes,
like,
they can be assembled by drawing 1 card and then leveraging your extra deck to build the rest of the combo.
you know,
The title of the video
dedicating
is a case
time
study of how the
is
extra deck
probably
the most
how
interesting,
you,
but also the most
you know,
problematic mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's definitely true.
You
Even though this
stick-
mechanic is very interesting and very cool.
Okay,
it
it does
can
not
absolutely
sound as
introduce some
profound as I
problematic
thought
elements
it
to the
would
game
be.
at times.
But
There are
I
a couple
guess,
of different things that
like,
can happen to make a kind of
it sounds
problematic
like you
extra deck monster.
wanted to,
The most obvious one is when they are
like,
overpowered and they are generic. Some examples of these would be like Baron de Fleur or Appaloosa is another
like,
good one. Actually,
crack
I don't know
this
how old that
game.
card is. It was before my time, but these are the ones
Which
that
is a good
I find that were kind of like most recent. Or another one that was recently banned is Herald of Arcade.
I'm just
These are
curious.
cards that
Was
are
it something
typically
that like
very powerful? Oftentimes they're going to have access to negation.
Like,
They're going to either negate one thing or in the case of Appaloosa,
made you
negate multiple
addicted?
things.
I guess.
And most problematically, these monsters were very generic. A lot
At
of
least
decks
for
could
me,
get to these monsters out of the extra
this is a
deck, and
long
it just
ass
resulted
time
in
ago.
games
But
sometimes
for me, it was
evolving
just
into
like
who
learning
can
new
assemble,
cards or
their
something
extra
like
deck combo
that.
the most easily, and that's going to determine what the best engine is. And that kind of takes away from the uniqueness in deck building. If the best things to be doing out of the extra deck are generic and not locked to a specific archetype, then all of a sudden the best archetype is just whatever can best assemble those generic things, and that's obviously problematic. There are also other extra deck monsters that are too powerful because of their effects, even though they aren't necessarily like fully generic. A good example of this is I think the card is called Shockmaster, which summons it's an XYZ monster that requires you to have 3 level 4 monsters in order to summon it, and then once you summon it, you can detach material from it to lock your opponent
None
out.
of y'all know Shockmaster. This is just a funny example to use. It's not very contemporary. But this card is giga broken. Holy moly. Holy moly. I think Azathoth is probably more easy. Like, it's still old as fuck, but that card literally says you cannot interact on my turn. Unlock the shot, yeah. Unlock the shot.
From using one of the 3 core types of cards on their turns, you can lock them out of playing spells, traps, or monsters. It's game winning. It's an effect that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is called Floodgate. Very, very powerful. And although
I think I did summon a Shockmaster during the 2012 event. I think I did summon it. I think I forget what I did really, but I did Shockmaster into like set 4. I think I called like spells or something. I might have called traps, but like my opponent couldn't do shit. It was it was like burn. It was like burn. So I think I called like traps. And like I think over a couple turns he just died because I just kept calling traps.
Every deck can access it because it requires you to be playing level 4 monsters. It is so powerful that, you know, it basically means that the best deck is going to be whatever can best produce the level 4 monsters required to summon it. So that's one of the things that can make the extra deck kind of problematic. The other thing that can happen with the extra deck that can become problematic or weird has to do with card evaluation, or I guess I should say I want to talk about card evaluation first before I explain it. If you look at a card like Moon, which is a really innocuous looking
moon. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. I think this was revealed before Fiendsmith. No one, I don't know, people kind of like focused a lot on the, actually no, I don't think it was released during Fiendsmith. It was around the time this was a V-Jump promo. I gotta look up the timeline, but I'm pretty sure but I think it was very interesting how like the effect is decent, but like it's really just typing and it's not super obvious. You know, if you were to tell like a new player, like, why is this card good? You know, sometimes, you know, like Link Spider, right? Why do you play this card if you don't play any normal monsters? It's a very common question I get. I'm like, oh yeah, it's for Nib token, which is like not intuitive. Like it makes sense once you explain it, but you know, like, yeah, you can use tokens and tokens or normal monsters. You can make Link Spider, and then that's your, yeah, GG. You can extend afterwards. There's another one that I'm trying to think of that's like not super obvious. All Mirage, I guess.
If you were coming to this from outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Context, you maybe didn't have that much information about what the best decks were, and you were just trying to work out why this card was powerful by reading its text, you might think,
those who know, yeah,
this card must be powerful because using one of your opponent's monsters as a tribute to summon a Link 5 is a play that comes up often, and the deck that wants to play this has a powerful Link 5 monster that it's going to summon, and that's what the engine is about. And if you're an experienced Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, you know that this card is powerful for 2 reasons. The 2 reasons are its typing, that it is a light fiend, and because it summons for 2 effect monsters, which is very generic. Moon is an example, and a banned example I should mention. This card is not legal anywhere other than Master Duel, I don't believe. Moon is an example of a bridge. What Moon allows you to do is turn any 2 effect monsters into it, and then from having this one singular light fiend monster, you can do the entire Fiendsmith combo line. So Moon can go get
MTG versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Drama. There's always at least one MTG versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Drama. Every like 4 months there's MTG versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Drama. But I guess what is it this time? I think I've seen it. But yeah, you might as well say it.
Deck, which then can get another monster from your main deck.
Are we talking about Tier Zoo? Because if it's Tier Zoo, that guy's kind of yeah, he could be more informed about the game, I would say.
Card pile, you can then get it back and then summon another thing from the extra deck. I won't explain the whole combo here, but basically all of this to say, if you can get a light fiend into play, you don't need no other cards even in your hand. You just need to have the engine slots allocated in your extra deck and the cards in your main deck, but you don't have to draw them. They could just be in your deck. You're going to tutor for them. Bridges are, I think, the biggest modern
any lore master, we'll find out.
Game. What we've seen in the last couple of years especially is decks are often okay, or engines are often okay if they would be played in their pure form, if they only existed as a single engine by itself. But Konami has kind of enacted this policy where they have been creating engines that don't lock you out of playing other things, and as a result, a lot of decks have turned into decks that are just trying to build as many engines into them as possible.
Tier Zoo, after Tier Zoo, another MTG player said Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards have mucho texto. Oh my god. I don't remember. He should have popped up in my feed because I get that shit. Right now it's Saikuno. I didn't want to learn. I hadn't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was like 9. Definitely never played it the way it's played. So once I saw how much my AC had hyperfixated. Oh, okay. Started piling the deck really well. Now I've got a complex to make it to the lion. All right. Good luck. I would say it's not gonna be easy for sure, but it feels like once you get to it, it'll hopefully I don't know. Once you, I would say like definitely don't rush. But it sounds like you're making a good pace. There's people who get stuck at plat. Like plat becomes like a filter. So getting a diamond is already pretty impressive. There's people who played for like, I mean they don't play like nonstop grinding or anything like that, but you know they're stuck at plat. or something like that, or you just need a little bit of help to get to diamond, which is also fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. So like doing all that stuff on your own. Rookie, true. Yu-Gi-Oh has fallen. It's over. Cool Tune is ruining the game. Cool Tune's pretty annoying. Don't get me wrong. There's been worse metas though. Worse metas when you're not playing the best decks. We're like, but I've secretly taken Mathmech the whole way. Yeah, no, that's impressive. Like, I would say, I'm not saying Mathmech has an expiration date right now, but it's not in the best position right now either. Like, I'm succeeding, but also I just, like, I do think it's because people misplay or, like, which is fine. That's, like, this game is hard. People can misplay, and you just need to recognize that and take advantage of that if you can. Yeah. Mathmech mentioned E. Tier? Yeah, tier, exactly. Yeah. Tier is definitely I played tier I played Mathmech in tier, and that's like one of the worst matchups ever in history. Like I don't think I could craft a worse matchup than full power tier. I don't think it was possible without circular either. And it was literally because people just did small misplays that added up. Why I don't have Linkariba, mate? Sad. Aw. Like, yeah. And yeah, that was rough. I think I had to play Conflict during that meta because the end board just got cooked by Sharon. Activate Sharon from hand. Like, you just lose. There's no good way to beat that. I'm not joking. Sag. Okay, but we did it. Rather than meme format with 0 banlist tier top 4th. We're talking about okay, who is number 1? Ryzeal, Malice? To be fair, tier are getting metagamed. But yeah. Oof.
But because the Yummy engine,
He's the best move right now because Mathmech isn't everyone's worst fear, and putting in things to deal with other things effectively. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you're comfortable with piloting it, also helps.
One starter from
Snake Eyes.
In order to be able to basically fully enact both. Bridges are very cool though at the same time, and when you find a unique bridge that maybe someone didn't see before, that can be a source of a really cool feeling, and it's something I think that is really what most players are looking for in the Yu-Gi-Oh deck building process at this point.
I think so too. I think when people start cooking with different builds and stuff, you have like the Beansmith Yummy, I guess. I think Mimigul Yummy is probably like, you can make a level 1 XZ summon or whatever, get to the Mimigul engine. I think that's what people do enjoy about like cooking these random bullshit. Sometimes they burn the kitchen and it's like 60 cards, but whatever. That's what they find fun. Oh yeah, like I think of Jesse with the White Forest tier limits. Bro, that shit's nasty.
A lot of the actual in-engine deck design is pretty clear.
Jesse with Yummy Fried Chicken. He did Fire King Yummy. I mean, I don't think he's the first to do it or anything like that. But there's like those small combinations, or not small, but like those have. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty satisfying to pull those off.
Konami prints really obviously templated cards for the archetypes, and obviously you need to figure out what the numbers of them you're going to play are, how exactly the combo lines work. But the real interesting elements come from figuring out how to bridge from one engine into another, and that's where players oftentimes find the biggest source of advantage in a metagame, is if a player can figure out a new bridge, a way to play multiple engines together in a way that no one else has before. This was all leading up to...
Oh yeah, there's a good example of this. Was it YCS Anaheim, the one Trip one? I don't know if he like discovered it, but he definitely debuted that strategy with Ryzeal Fiendsmith. Normal summon ice, make Exciton, and then make Requiem off after the whatever happens to the Exciton, you make Requiem, and then you just Fiendsmith combo. And like at the time, I just thought it was gonna be pure Ryzeal, like going in. I got my ass beat anyway, so doesn't matter. But yeah, I think he was definitely ahead. There's probably other people on Ryzeal Fiendsmith, whatever. Other top players on that, but yeah, I felt like that shit was ahead. Cope Hybrid. What Cope Hybrid? Bruh. Me when I win the YCS, Cope Hybrid. W hater, I guess.
that I wanted to do because I've been having a lot of fun playing this deck, and it got me thinking about the extra deck and why the extra deck is so interesting. So I already mentioned Mitsurugi, powerful engine that you can play by itself, but is most commonly paired with other engines because there are so many ways to use the extra deck to bridge into Habakiri. The kind of colloquialism is all roads lead to Habakiri. There's just so many ways to find a ritual monster, which is what Habakiri is, and as a result, you can basically splash it into a bunch of different engines. And in the TCG at least, they have been trying to ban out as many of those things as possible. King of the Fairlamps is one card that has gone for this reason as well, and they've certainly been trying to make it so that Mitsurugi is less splashable in other decks. But you can still play it pure, you can still play it with Fiendsmith very cleanly, and as I said earlier, people play it with Mitsurugi Yummy. But recently, a player on Master Duel found an even more kind of interesting, and I think we have to say that it's degenerate, even though it's definitely my kind of my kind of deck. This was found by a Twitter user, Normal How. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing their name properly, but it was posted on February 19th on Master Duel Meta. And essentially, what this list is doing is it is playing pure Mitsurugi with one extra card in the main deck, which is Rank Up Magic Argent Chaos Force, and then it is paying the low price of, I think it is 6 extra deck slots. It's slotting in, it's using 6 of its 15 extra deck slots in order to turn its deck from being a mid-range deck that's very resilient, good at running into boards, capable of wiping your opponent's board with Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi. Like, that's a very powerful effect that is often what the deck functions around. And instead, for the low price of 1 rank up magic and 6 extra deck slots, this deck now has a first turn
being
kill,
4 normal
which is
spells and
extremely
combat grades
degenerate.
is
And the way
sorry,
it
and
works
then
is
draw
fascinating.
defense to
So
turn 2.
I will walk you through exactly how the combo
Crying
works.
inside for a second, but
visually,
stuck
I
in
play the
for
deck
one.
on Master
Good
Duel,
luck.
so you'll be running in the
Yeah.
background while I'm
Those are
explaining it.
satisfying.
But the basic idea is that you first are going to do just the core Mitsurugi combo.
Those are
Now,
pretty
I'm going to
satisfying
explain this
wins.
maybe in a little bit more detailed of a way than you would typically hear a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber do so. One, I'm not the most familiar with everything yet, so it's going to help me to explain it that way. Two, I want my content to be accessible to people who aren't necessarily 100% entrenched in a card game. I'd like for them to be able to still watch the video and at least get some appreciation of why these things are neat. So if you are already really well kind of entrenched in how the Mitsurugi combo works, you can skip ahead. I'll put a little timestamp to let you know when I'm done the basic explanation, when the combo explanation starts. But if not, please feel free to stay and I'll explain the whole thing. Okay, so I lost my replay, unfortunately, of me doing this in rank, so we'll do it this way. It might be easier anyway to demonstrate. But like I said, I'm going to explain in more precise detail than I think is entirely necessary, but just for purposes of clarity for people who maybe are not the most familiar with the lines of this deck or the mechanics of this game, I think this will be easier to follow. So the basic premise with Mitsurugi is that you want to start by getting Habakiri into your hand as early as possible. So a lot of the time you
Let's
have it
go,
naturally, but
Habakiri.
these things
W
don't do so
Habakiri.
sometimes you'll have to find it. In this case, I'm using pre-preparation of rights, which is going to let me get a Habakiri here. Then I get to activate Habakiri, and in this scenario, I'm just going to go and get a Mitsurugi no Mikoto Saji, put that into play. And the reason why this is good, or why Habakiri is so oppressive, is that basically this starts the whole combo from nothing, essentially. So Saji lets you search for a ritual spell, or any spell or trap actually with Mitsurugi in the name, but what we're going to go get is Mitsurugi Ritual. This is the spell that lets us ritual summon all of the big monsters, and they're the way we're going to win the game. So next, we activate the Mitsurugi Ritual. We're going to special summon a card from our hand. In this case, it's the Habakiri. We're going to do so tributing this Aramesa and this Lamia. Importantly, and something that's slightly different about this specific draw that I have is that I have the Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi in hand, and because I have this in hand, I have to play slightly differently. Normally, you would have tributed that as one of the costs of the ritual, but because I have it in hand, I have to do this slightly differently. So now I get to normal summon the Kusanagi, which is going to return the ritual. Normally, you would tribute it as part of the cost of the ritual in the first place, and that would just allow you to get the ritual back right away. Next, you're going to ritual out a Mitsurugi monster from deck. This is the second option of ritual, and in this case, you're going to tribute summon Futsu no Mitama no Mitsurugi, and you're going to tribute the Habakiri on the field. The whole reason why the Mitsurugi deck is powerful is because this engine of ritual monsters that resummon themselves and search for a card when they're tributed is very resilient to hate and can basically build up from nowhere quite cheaply. If you ever get to tribute one of these monsters, you typically get access to your whole line, and that's very powerful. So here, this Habakiri is going to come back, and I get to search for a spell. In this case, I'm going to get the Mitsurugi Prayers. The Habakiri comes back, and now I can use this Futsu that's in play and this Mitsurugi Mirror that I searched at the beginning with pre-preparation rights to summon the Murakumo from my hand. There are different iterations of how you might do this part. Honestly, like, kind of all roads lead to Rome once you get the pieces moving, but essentially it's going to work where once you get the first 8-cost Mitsurugi monster in play that resummons itself, you're going to use that one to summon the next one, and then you'll use the second level 8 Mitsurugi monster to summon the third one. That's the short version of how this typically ends up working out. So now I get to add another card to my hand. At this point, it mostly doesn't matter. Let's say if I was playing against a real player, I would probably get the Great Purification, this trap card that you could use to disrupt your opponent, but in this case, it doesn't matter. Gonna put this back into play, and then the last thing I have to do is activate the prayers. I will tribute a monster because of, if I was playing against a real person, I probably would. I'll tribute the last level 8 ritual monster that hasn't been tributed, so this one's gonna come back. I'll get to add a Mitsurugi monster from my hand, or to my hand. In this case, I would add this Wusu just as a piece of interaction. It's not important though; you don't need to know about that part. And then I'll resummon a level 4 monster from my graveyard to the battlefield. And lastly, the Mitsurugi Mirror triggers to go back into my deck, and the Murakumo is going to come back onto the field. So now, oh yeah, I get to add a card. We'll add this last thing, this Megatama. Which, again, if we were playing against a real person, we might use this disruption if something happened. But now, this is sort of where you would typically set up the typical Mitsurugi end board, and that would usually involve doing something like making IP Masquerena and planning to summon SP Little Knight on your opponent's turn, and leaving a Mayatama no Mitsurugi, Futsu no Mayatama no Mitsurugi in play to resummon a bunch of the things that you subsequently tributed. That's how it would normally play. And the reason why this deck is so powerful is that if your opponent has had no interaction, that typically means that their hand is full of gas that they're going to use to try and kill you. And if you are only setting up the normal Mitsurugi end board, yes, it's pretty powerful. You get an Omni Negate, you get a removal spell of some sort, and you get most notably Futsu resummoning things. That can push through a lot of things, but if your opponent is starting with 5 cards, a lot of the times they can actually just still beat that, and they can push all the way through that. You also get to resummon Murakumo at some point and kill all your opponent's monsters as well, which is also quite powerful, obviously. But all this to say, this is beatable. So whether you want to believe that or not, it is beatable for some decks. So that's where the combo comes into play. So from this position, and this is how your board needs to be set up to be able to combo, technically you can be -1 level 8 monster, you need 2 level 8s and 2 level 4s. So from this position, you start by getting Gimmick Puppet, Fanta 6 mechanics.
Oh,
and
this
you can
is
do 2 level
fucking
8s. In this case,
Fiend
would do
Eagle.
Futsu
I
Blade,
forgot
which is
about
something you go
that.
wrong, that's the one you would want to have left behind. This is going to come into play, and then you're going to detach the
Oh
material
my
from it. In this case, I would
god.
detach
I've
the
seen
Murakumo.
enough Fiend Eagle.
And I get to go get the rank up magic from my deck. This is again, remember, the only card that needs to be
Actually,
included
does
in the deck in
it?
order for this
I don't
combo to work.
remember. I see
Everything else is
Raiders
done
Knight, so
the
I
rank up magic,
imagine.
Gimmick Puppet Fanta 6 into this number C107 Neo Galaxy Tachyon Dragon, quite a mouthful. And then, once this enters play, you can activate its ability by detaching a material as well. In this case, you want to detach the Gimmick Puppet. This has the added benefit of actually locking your opponent out from activating cards on the field if that were a relevant thing for you. So next, you get to overlay on top of this the Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon. And doing so will trigger the rank up magic effects in your discard pile. This will come out of my graveyard, back to my hand. I get to use it again. Rank this up into the CXYZ Gimmick Puppet Fanta 6 mechanics. This is going to go face up as well. And we are pretty close to ending the game at this point. So now, when this enters, we get to resummon the other Gimmick Puppet monster to our side of the field. And that's going to get back the rank up magic for one last time. We are going to special summon Raiders Knight using the 2 level 4s
Oh,
that we
no.
created during just the regular
This
Mitsurugi.
this has got to be Fiend
Then
Eagle.
detaching one of those from the Raiders
No,
Knight,
no,
we get
no,
to
no,
make
no, no,
a
no.
Raid Raptor
Oh,
Fiend Eagle.
motherfucker.
And at this
Bruh.
point, we have all the
I'm outta
tools that we
here.
need to combo.
1.7
So
seconds,
first,
I'm
we
out.
Activate the Fanta 6 mechanics to get detaching the Neo Galaxy Tachyon Dragon. We then give that to our opponent.
Yeah,
This has
yeah,
full
yeah,
fire
yeah,
attachments.
yeah.
We decline to activate this effect, importantly, because otherwise you would destroy the monster and then not be able to win. Next, we get to rank up magic for the last time, and we rank up into the number C15 Gimmick Puppet Giant Hunter. And then we get 2 activations, which will deal 4,500 damage apiece and kill our opponent. First, the Fiend Eagle activates, detaching a material, doesn't matter which, targeting the Tachyon Dragon. This is going to deal 4,500 to our opponent. And then the Gimmick Puppet Giant Hunter activates, detach the one material that's attached to it, target the dragon, you will destroy it, and deal 4,500 to your opponent and end the game. So yeah, that's the full combo.
You gotta
The
watch
reason
my
why this is
clip?
so powerful is
I
that
did
in the
watch your
context of
clip.
Mitsurugi, a deck that is very
Okay,
usable for
fine,
second
I'll
and
watch
running
it.
into opponent's boards.
All
This
right,
kind of
link
shores out
it.
one of the main weaknesses which the deck has, which is that it's going first board if there are no other engines in the deck is not as powerful as most other things that you can be doing in the format currently. You either kind of need to be playing Yummy in order to have more Omni Negates and other interactions on the board, or at least be playing something like Fiendsmith to have access to another set of interactions through that. And what this does is basically say, okay, if I'm going first and my opponent doesn't interact with me, I win. I'm just going to kill them, which is good because that's the one scenario that you oftentimes would run into problems with. If your opponent has interaction
Oh my
and they're able to
gosh.
disrupt your
All right, here.
Mitsurugi combo,
You know
typically
what?
still get to end
I'll
with
do
a
you one
reasonable
better.
half board, some amount of monsters and disruption. Mitsurugi's quite good at playing through Hayden that way. Basically,
Here
anything
you
other than
go.
Droll and Lockbird is beatable, and you can still put a decent amount of stuff on the board. But the one issue you can run into is if you don't, if you run into an opponent that has no interaction,
All
but
right.
has
We're interrupting the Mitsu FTK. For this. Bro, it's like 7 minutes?
Hope USPS don't lie to me. It's telling me.
Did you edit
a box
this?
that fits this is only $25. Hi, I showed it last time. This was from last year, or actually last year. Wait, I need to stand up. Wait.
I can't believe you had these before the. I'm too lazy to do that? Okay.
Bye. Oh, okay, bye. Whew. Apply yes.
I can't believe you had those for the what's it? Just in time for the egghead mate. My fan be doing free labors. I was thinking of being like the person who timestamps all your fucking duels. I mean, I don't think it's hard at all. Like, but I got lazy once and stopped doing it. Then you have Unwelcome. Whoever edited Unwelcome School. Yeah, Fiend Eagle, XED.
Oh my god, I didn't want to do that. Oh wait, I don't have it. Oh, shoot, wrong. Wait, that's wrong combo. Wait, that's wrong combo. Where's my 5? Oh, I need to get the 5. Where's my 5? No.
Nice transition. Storybook. Oh my, the deck out.
Show me what this is. We just. Oh yeah, that would also work. Oh,
Another deck out.
Wait a second. Wait a second. No, we're not being ordered.
Wait, this is ass. This deck out's ass.
Oh, yeah, the snow, huh? Oh, he's gonna die.
Wait, yeah.
Bangula.
I think you're cooked. Yeah, this. Never mind. I forgot. I didn't realize he had snow.
Okay, there's 5 more. Portals advantage when Mikanto. Okay. We've seen 2 Radiant Typhoon. Well, we saw Radiant Typhoon with King Knight and Jashira.
Wait, doesn't he deck out, or
and
am
then
I?
a burn deck, and then a like hand red deck. I think this is another hand red deck. 2 snows. Oh no, just other hand.
I think he decks out here.
Oh my god, they killed himself!
Yeah, what the fuck?
Wait, okay.
He does? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. You forgot. Oh, yes, 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 oh, yes, 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 yes. You're doing, wait. Got it. Okay. No.
Don't use it.
Okay. Hurry. Fight it. No.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
No!
Wait, that's bad, right?
Oh my god. Oh. Okay, they have like,
Alright.
okay, at 4K, like, this is like easy.
Will prevent the deck out? Nice.
How did you, oh, I didn't.
That's true, you
No.
shuffle back everything.
It's like more than 40 seconds to do the rest of the combo. I do. So.
You feel
Oh, it's
that? This is the clip that got posted on Twitter, right?
Gimmick Puppet, Fantastic Machina! Arawero, rank 4, Raiders Knight!
Not. Who invited Fiend Eagle to the function?
ランク3、レイドラプラス、デビルイーグル。オーバーレイユニットを1つ使い、デビルイーグルの効果発動。飛来せよ、ランク4、レイドラプラス、フォースストリックス。上越せよ、ランク13、レイドラプラス、ライジング、リベリオンファルコン。
Okay, we done here today. 不是，骑士搞3更快 ，this was faster，因为直接用生5就少掉了骑士，然后少身间，然后少掉了在墓地里降星。Don't need to go all the way across the grave and like level down and then go into 3. Guys, so slow. Oh, okay.
You can barely see him, but yeah.
Okay, we're done here today.
Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. That fucking egghead, like, squeaky toy kills me. Cinema. Alright.
Hand of 6 engine cards, you might lose to those 6 engine cards because the typical Mitsurugi board finishes with like 4 or 5 pieces of interaction and only one of them is non-negate. So it's not crazy by any means as far as how you could be doing in this
You're
format.
back?
The last thing I wanted to mention is that this combo isn't even all in. You aren't in a position where if you go
Did
for the
you
combo,
say
you get
anything?
disrupted.
No, I was just saying that you know that clip where you're squeaking right at the end, you're squeaking the egghead squeaky toy? I just said that squeaky toy kills me.
You are all of a sudden going to lose. This is
You should have clapped with. Oh my
where
god.
My opponent had one piece of interaction that had an Ash Blossom that I crossed out designated, so I kept going, and they had infinite impermanence for the first part of the combo, so I didn't get the rank up magic. But if you look at the situation, I just get to
Yeah, it's a
purely
dog
copy
toy.
Masquerena and pass with Futsu in play with two cards set. So I'm still passing with like 4 interactions. I think 1, 2, 3. I guess it's 3 interactions, but then Futsu is going to bring back this Murakumo from my graveyard. Like going for the combo doesn't even indicate, like it doesn't even lock you out of having a regular game plan. It's not like if you brick on this, you do nothing. Like if you brick on the combo, you just have a relatively normal looking Mitsurugi on board. Maybe it's like -2, I guess. It has 2 fewer interactions than you would have otherwise, probably because you would have turned the 2 rank 4s into like a Gallant Granite.
V Sauce Face.
Something of that ilk, and maybe
It doesn't work unless you have like the theme song.
So maybe you're 2 fewer interactions than you would be normally. But I mean, if you look, this is still, especially because my opponent had to use 2 pieces of non-engine, plenty of gas to get through what my opponent is doing. So they go for this.
Oh, dude, they have a emergency if they're searching field spell
I'm not
here.
even like playing this optimally. I haven't played against Rescue before, as you can probably tell. But I get rid of their field spell. They summon a Diabell Star.
Oh, okay. Did he
Go for
just
triggers,
pitch
I get to get
for
Murakumo back
Diabell
to
Star?
destroy both their
What the
monsters.
hell is this
They have 1
then?
card in hand. Like, I still have an Omni negate backing all of this up. They set this Wanted Seeker Sinful Spoils.
Yeah, what the
They
hell
summon
is
monsters.
this?
They try and
Oh,
get
so
rid of
okay,
the
it was
response. I
another
counter it with the-
emergency.
I negate it with the Murakumo, and they die. And like because they started with 4 cards, because they had to use 2 non-engine cards, not dying to the FTK. I mean, they just didn't have that much gas, and I still got to pass with a reasonable board. So yeah, deck is gross. It does a bunch of really gross stuff. So yeah, it's a really interesting deck in that regard. Shores up a really interesting part of the matchup table that Mitsurugi has trouble with, and as a result, I do think there's a non-zero chance that this deck might catch a ban or 2, because if you look
Can't pay
at the results of this
tax,
deck, it's already
Aj.
carried a player to top 10 in ratings duels. It's also carried a couple of players into Masters very comfortably. Someone brought it to Joshua Schmidt's community tournament, played it to a top 4 finish as well. There's a pretty funny reaction of him on stream realizing that that's what this deck was doing, and he was unhappy about it, which, you know, fair enough, I do understand.
No.
It was a pretty good reaction.
Well, I guess I'm not even surprised anymore that Habakiri can do this.
But overall, I think this deck is really emblematic of why the extra deck is so cool.
That's pretty good.
Mitsurugi is a deck that does not require
His
any
face.
end deck pieces, any of its end board pieces to come out of the extra deck, which means typically its extra deck is full of utility monsters, things that are maybe a little bit more situational.
Oh, by
or,
the way, I
just
do have a
generic actual interaction
webcam.
pieces. But because
But
it doesn't
so
have to
all
play
that
anything
time I
with
was
its
like, I'm
extra
too
deck, just
lazy to
supports that
do a
engine, you can make
webcam.
these interesting
Well, I
splash.
can't do that.
This
Say that
splash
anymore.
might be too good.
I'm
There's
too
there's a
lazy to
non-zero chance
turn
that
on
it
my
is.
webcam.
But
So that's my new
but it's very
excuse.
sweet and very cool, and I think this deck is really interesting and emblematic of a very cool component and unique component of the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. So that's all I got for this video. I wanted to
Webcam?
to
Yeah, I do have a
it's cool
webcam
and unique,
now.
and I've been playing a bunch of Mitsurugi FTK because it's really fun and really degenerate. So that's how this video spawned. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe.
But,
one thing I didn't mention in the video, but I've also been thinking about it.
face
most
reveal?
cards from this deck are
No.
not actually Master Duel exclusive.
I'm
but
good.
With the exceptions of like Red Reboot, Arbitraries at 1, not 2 in the TCG, and
I'm gonna
King of the Pharaohs
scam y'all
again
anyway.
in
I'm gonna
the
show
extra
up
deck,
with
but
like a
I've
mask
literally never summoned King of the Pharaohs in this deck in all of my games playing, and I've played like maybe 15-20 games at this point.
and
So
like
part of me wonders if
shades.
maybe there's something interesting that you
and
can
a
do in the TCG
bandana.
with this strategy. I know that in Magic there is sometimes this sub game that goes on in best of 3 where a
What's
combo
the
that
webcam?
actually
Yeah.
2 and 3 sometimes
So
either
it's
side with
already,
its combo
like-
or side much lower on combo in order to kind of juke what the opponent might bring in out of their
Ball,
sideboard.
that's
And
why,
I have
sure.
heard of a Yu-Gi-Oh deck being able to do this in quite this way. Let me know if there's one that I'm not aware of. But I think it's kind of interesting that you could register this in the TCG. Game 1, maybe you're on the play, you go first, you get to kill them with the Gimmick Puppet FTK. And then in game 2, you just take the rank up magic out of your deck, bring in another regular kind of Pure Mitsu card,
Yeah,
and
you got
some
me.
sideboard cards, some side deck cards, and you just play the next 2 games like Pure Mitsu, and your opponent has to respect the fact that this FTK is in your deck, but maybe it's not anymore. I don't know. Let me know if there are other decks that do this in the TCG or have done this in the TCG historically, because it's definitely something that happens in other card games. I've done it in Magic pretty famously when you were playing Splinter Twin in Modern. You would oftentimes just cut all the Splinter Twins and play Blue Red Control in post board games. That was like a pretty common thing that goes on. And additionally in Legacy, there have been combo decks historically that have opted to go for like these sideboard dukes where they sided in like 8 creatures and sided out their combo in an effort to get ahead of all the combo hate that would be coming out of the sideboard. So very cool, very interesting. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hand, except for itself, you can't add another copy of itself. So you get to go get a monster. With
Oh,
this
this is
effect, you can go
bloopers.
get a Mitsurugi no Mikoto Sachi. This is another rank 4 monster. Oh, we have a cat. Speaking of rank 4 monster. So this is another rank 4 monster. This one has the same kind of text where you get the effect whether it's normal summoned or if you tribute it. This one though you're just going to normal summon. And this one says you can add 1 Mitsurugi spell.
Bro,
to
trying to
your
ignore the
opponent's
cat.
So now you're gonna go get the next card in the combo, which is Mitsurugi Ritual. Mitsurugi Ritual says this
I don't know
card is
anyone
started with a
successful with
reptile
this
monster.
technique.
In this case, they're going to be Mitsurugi monsters, spoiler alert. And so what you're then going to do is you're going to use this ritual to summon from your deck. You can go get a Mitsurugi no Murakumo no Mitsurugi. No Murakumo no Mitsurugi.
I think
And you're going to do that by tributing
like sometimes
the,
Joshua. I mean, I don't watch his.
Bloody. All right, well, I guess I have to start over this bit anyway, but it's fine.
What did he expect? What did he expect? That cow. Okay, dude, we're getting through most of these. Oh man, I don't want to. This is like a 1-hour video. It's the same guy we just watched, but it's a 1-hour video of like Star Wars Unlimited. And I have no idea what the fuck that is. Oh, we can get rid of that. Oh, we already got rid of that. Yeah. It's a TCG. Well, yeah, but like, I'm clueless. Okay. Oh yeah, this was a feature match. I forgot which YCS this was. Was this Richmond? One hour. All right. Yeah, but they did get featured. Broke the internet. I know, right? Like the clickbait. The Yu-Gi-Oh episode that broke the internet, and it's like Yugi losing his soul in the Orichalcus arc. I don't know, like what? I don't know. I can't think of good examples.
Witness is history in the making, guys, and this is the 300th YCS Richmond round number.
I'll
13.
do
The loser of this match
1.5.
gets eliminated from the tournament forever and is cut off completely from top 8ing this tournament. So, guys, I'm facing my best friend Hawk in this tournament. Right now, our record is both 10-2 and basically X2s, meaning anybody with 2 losses and 13 wins will automatically advance to top 8 to compete for the trophy. Right now, both our records are 10-2. That means that whoever loses gets completely eliminated from the tournament. And huge shouts to Billy and Asala right here, guys. And this is my first time seeing this match, so I've never seen it before. And oh my goodness, guys, it's about to be insane. All right, guys, here we go.
First in the blue chair from New Brunswick, New Jersey, the Taiwanese Terror,
Okay.
the YouTube sensation. Shout out Team Supreme Pro.
I fucking love Kangas.
Kangas, I love you, Kangas.
Oh, see, yeah, Kangas is amazing.
But, we're Thailand. It's okay, though. You were close.
Okay, Kangas got that wrong.
Sam, I don't know which one's the master and which one's the student. One has definitely been on the scene much longer, but I don't know if that's the student and the master.
Pauk is definitely the master, guys. Pauk is definitely the master.
All right, Joey, you asked for my best. I intend to give it. Yugi, I won't insult you by giving you anything less than my all. I'm gonna come at you hard right from the start.
Oh my god. Speaking of Boomer, I would watch that episode. I had that episode on VHS and I would watch that over and over. Like I didn't know what was going on cuz I you know, I was a kid. But yeah, that episode I remember a lot.
Around for quite some time, but once Pac got into it, once they started working together, that's when Sam started really shining here. I think
That's
Pac
facts.
gave Sam the tools he needed to really come out as a star duelist.
Yeah, guys, I came out. This guy was saying, yo, do not swear on the stream. Y'all just like, do not swear, Sam.
Oh my god, no goddamn.
I'm like, I didn't swear last
VHS?
time,
Yeah,
I said it was
yeah.
goddamn.
Yeah.
Guys, before we get on with this duel, the brand new Destruction deck.
You know
box
what?
is
I'll
out.
get this. I'll pull the band-aid off. Yes, I grew up with a rotary phone, okay? I'll rip the band-aid off, you guys. There we go, okay? You can call me Unk.
Live at tx1.com. You guys can pre-order this
Wait, what
right
the
now
fuck?
in the link in the description box ever at tx1.com. Check it out right now. He's laughing. He's laughing. Guys, so in the mirror match right here, we're playing the card by card exact same dark. We're playing card by card same necklace.
Yeah, only one of these players will have a chance after this match.
Oh my
Go
god,
with
not
the
a
top
dinosaur meteor.
Yo, I want you guys to say, okay, I want you guys to know something, okay? Yu-Gi-Oh's about fun, bro. Like, y'all be taking this game too seriously, fam. It's a card game. If you don't laugh, you don't smile, you don't enjoy yourself, why play this game?
Round 13, 300 YCS.
Yeah. Oh, they're both just so happy to be there. We're alive? Oh, yeah, we're
Yeah, you saw Pac being a little stoic, but it's hard to stay stoic with Sam.
Yeah.
He'll break you. He'll make
Shit,
you
man,
laugh.
5? So bad. I said I'm cheese, bro. He's so lucky. 7, bro. He freaking so lucky.
They have the same dice, the same
As soon as I knew, I'm like, it's hard, bro. It's hard.
different extra deck sleeves at least, so there are some differences we're looking at.
Okay, my opening hand right now, so you guys can understand exactly what's going on. My hand is the Fallen and the Virtuous, Rahu Dracotail, Frixel, Ghost Belt, and Rahu Dracotail. I basically have 0 hand traps against him. Okay, that is it. Let's see.
Still smiling, Pac locked in.
Yeah,
Oh,
go first. Anything standby?
you know these two have played each other a ton in practice, and now they're having to play on the biggest
in
stage of
phase?
them all.
I know when you play against someone you're this close, it's hard to take the
So
match
he starts
as
off
seriously.
with Femana right away.
Because you're so
This is such a
used
good
to
play, bro.
being casual when playing against each other.
So he goes Femana starting off, which is really, really strong. This is really good because he special summons, and he can search Ketu to basically normal summon Lucius.
Sam allows it to happen. Well, it's in kind of a weak hand. Your Femana using a copy of Fualis and another Femana.
Okay.
Definitely not the strongest start for Dracotail, but the good thing about the Dracotail deck,
Athalia
no
was
matter
really
how you
good.
start, as long as you're able to get those monsters
Arthur
into the
line,
graveyard
use the
and then
effect
be able
of
to
my
access the
Femana, so I'll
spells
take
from your deck, you're going to be able to get some things going at least. So the Arthur line...
I'm gonna let that go
has
because the only thing I can bell is basically his traps on my turn. I'm gonna be basically letting him combo off. I want you guys to know that. So the situation right here goes, that's how it's gonna go right here, okay? So the situation that I'm in right now is
Dude,
that
I
if you only
forgot
have one
this.
hand
I
trap,
remember
which
watching
in this deck
it
you play a total of 12
live.
hand traps like Effect Veiler, Ghost Spell, Ash Blossom. In this deck right here, I only saw the one hand trap Ghost Spell. So the game plan here is I have
There,
to let him come off,
was it
and I have to
2-1?
use the bell as
I forgot, but
basically
like
some sort of breaker, so I can stop his flame or stop his horn. And he's going Rahu, this very standard Dracotail line right here, very very strong.
I don't
considering,
remember he was
the
able. If he
Fenana and
was,
Urgula
I don't
in
think he
his
was
hand,
able to
he's
break
gonna summon,
this. Though.
of course, the Gulamel right here, and then Urgula is gonna be able to set a trap, which is actually really really strong. So you open up with Fimana and of course the Rahu, which in this situation I'm kind of screwed. I'm like, okay, you know what? If he's gonna be able to set one flame, which in this situation that he is gonna be able to set one flame, right? I can actually break this board. Worst comes to worst. You know what I'm saying? Like this board is actually breakable with just the one Ghost Spell. All right. So he's gonna be able to set a card. He's setting the Kitu. All right. And Kitu is a correct set because he's playing around my Femana as well. So if I were to Femana him, he can punish you with the Kitu to be able to just basically just utilize it as a fusion spell, and then he goes Granite Fusion. Like look at my face. I want you guys look at my face, bro. Look at my face. Look at my face. Look at his face. I lost. Rahu, Femana, Granite Fusion. You might as well have the 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand. And look at his. He's laughing, bro. He knows I'm cooked. Now because now he can send Spenta to the graveyard. Look at this. He's laughing, bro. And I'm saying good. So in this case right here, guys, he summons Albion, all right? All right. Okay, he's gonna send Spenta and send Albaz to the graveyard. And he's gonna send, oh yeah, even Billy said, this is kind of like Joey versus Yugi, the cat, no cat.
Got that dolphin laugh.
Yeah. So now he's using the effect of Albion Fusion. So right here, I'm thinking right now, and this indicates to him that I have Bell. Because any right mind, they would Ash the first action, Ash the Rahu, Ash the Granite Fusion. Now when he plays Master Duel so much that when he activates the Albion, he knew I had Bell in my hand. And I'm thinking, because guys, if I Bell this, I lose. Why? If I Bell this, he can use Spenta that's in the graveyard right here, you guys see. Banish Spenta, equip Artemis. Artemis effect add Crowley. Crowley, when it's added from the deck to the hand, it summons itself. And then Crowley and Albion can make Zoroa Fusion. All right, guys? And then end phase, he sets the Fallen and the Virtuous anyways. Like, I'm cooked. All right? If I Bell that, I lose. Like, I actually just lose. And I say fine. I say resolve. All right, and he's making
Resolve.
Albion on the field. And then he can use Spenta. You see this? Spenta?
Just say resolve for
Artemis.
Aura.
Put the Artemis.
Like you can do
And
anything.
then Artemis effect is gonna search Crowley. I will search another Spenta, and then Spenta can send itself search another Crowley, and then I'm basically just Charborough cooked, basically. Because now he has the big Zoro fusion on the field. But guys, in Yu-Gi-Oh, you never give up, okay? Use these two. Okay. Look at that. Make the Zoro fusion, which is the negate.
Top left Aura.
And then you use Zoro to equip the Crowley. Insane.
Crowley resolve fusing with the Albion.
And then you use Kit 2, and he has a normal summon chat. And now he has a negate on the field, which is insane. And he has a normal summon. So you can search Malulu.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, have we normal summoned? No, we have not.
You can normal Malulu, activate Malulu's effect. And use Femena and Malulu
I mean, we knew that both
to make another Arthalion. And he has no more Arthalions, by the way. He has no more Arthalions. He's like, bro, he has nothing left. And he's setting the flame. Look at that. This is the end board. This is the end board. Look at this. This is actually not even that bad. This board is breakable, actually. And he used Urgla to add Femena back. And at this point, guys, Puck already used double Arthalion. He already used double Arthalion. So his Femena's dead.
Nice.
And Sek can still use the effect to shuffle back his Spellcaster, summon back Malulu. And Malulu is basically dead because he can't make anything now because he already used both Arthalions and the Gulamel, right?
just the additional set there.
He'll shuffle back to Crowley. Okay.
Have accessible in the deck. This is a lot.
Yeah, so you know Femena, he has Horn, he has Malulu on the field, Gulamel.
This is insane.
Zora doesn't. Oh yeah.
And then end phase, you can use the Albion's effect to set the Fallen the Virtuous. Like this end board is breakable. Look at this.
All right, Sam, much more serious now. Needs to focus and lock in for his turn that is now coming up.
Uphill battle for sure. Already second.
All right, guys, I'm drawing for turn, and I drew 5 mana for turn. Okay? So my hand is Frixo, 5 mana, Ghost Belt, Fallen the Virtuous, Rahu. That's my hand. 6-card hand, okay? All right, that's my 6-card hand. Look at this. Look, I want you guys to learn something about Yu-Gi-Oh, okay? Even though that you're in, look at this end board, we're just like 10 negates right here. Look what I do. Set 1. I set 1. And look at my face. Look at my face. This is the crazy bluff. If this was an Albaz, he loses. But look at my face. Look at him. He's himself. Look at what he does. And I'm like,
he still loses this. I remember this.
I made him use his flame.
He's gonna have to go for flame on.
He's trying to flame, negate his own Artemis, chain Gulamel, pop this back row. Pop this card. Look at the bait.
Chain the Gulamel to destroy the set just to avoid.
I think he still loses this.
Wait, hold on. I have a response to flame, I said. So on flame, I activate my only gold spell. So now, look, he's using Zoroa to negate my bell. And guys, right now, I have 5 mana in my hand. Okay? I have 5 mana in my hand. In this ideal situation, if I had another monster, right? I'd use 5 mana right away. So I can fuse the Frixo and the monster from my hand to make Arthline. That's what I would do. That's actually what I would do, but I didn't have an extra monster. So you guys see I have Frixo, Bell, 5 mana.
I mean, that is a very good use.
So I didn't have another monster in my hand to fuse.
Like,
if this was another monster in my hand, oh my god, I break his entire board. Look at this. So I have to let it go. Because if I had another monster, all I have to do was chain Fallen the Virtuous in response to that. Pop Secretarion. Or I can chain 5 mana, and then chain Fallen the Virtuous, pop Secretarion right away. And like, he's cooked. So look at this. It's a Frixo.
It was just a Frixo.
Look at this. Chat, look at this. Flame the gate, shuffles back Arthalion, draws 1, and look, look at this. Guys, off just setting 1 Frixo, I baited out Flame, and I baited out Zoro on the gate. By just setting 1 card. That's what I want you guys to learn about Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not in a winning situation at all. But that's what I want you guys to take away from this. Alright, watch. Now my only play now, look at this. I go Fallen the Virtuous, I pop Secretarion, and then activate, look at this, I pop Secretarion with Fallen the Virtuous, and now my only play is to activate Rahu with the 5 mana that I have in my hand. And look. Activate Ash Blossom. Look at that. 1 set card nearly broke his entire board.
But you didn't.
And then like I scoop. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Because I had no other plays. My last card was Rahu. Yes, he still had Malulu. Yes, he still had Fallen the Virtuous. But you still gotta try, right? You know what I'm saying? So that was game 1. That was insane. Alright guys, game 2. You guys see that? I told Pac to start. Oh my god, I told Pac to start. Yo, what is chat saying about this? Pac's gonna win again.
Haha, Sam, go second. Haha.
LOL Sam.
Who said go
Sam.
second?
I wanna be honest. I'm not the best Yu-Gi-Oh player. Why would he not start?
Sam, what are you doing?
Sam is crazy for that.
Oh, that was
I'm
intentional.
crazy.
Oh, okay.
Do
I
you
didn't
know
pay
why?
attention to this then.
Because Pac sides out all his traps going second. Yo, we studied the matchup together. Going second, we side out all the traps. No traps in the back. So what the hell is he doing with his little monsters there? What is he setting with his back row? More Rahus? Boo-hoo! Your small brain cannot comprehend the YCS Champions brain! Nah! Not everyone, but those who doubt it. Y'all don't think outside the box, bro. Because Pac sides out the flame, sides out the horn, sides out the sting going second. And he tries to kill me while going second. That's literally it. And that's the game plan. That is literally the game plan, chat. Look at me. And honestly, guys, I want you guys to learn something about me. My biggest strength is the fact that people think I'm shit. Y'all forget I'm a YCS champion, right? You don't think I know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you guys not know that there's a difference between content creation and the main stage? Look at my record. 10 wins and 2 losses. Y'all think content creation and YCS are the same thing? They're not, bro. Y'all don't think I turn off my brain when I make content? Come on. Come on, bro. Look at that. Look, watch. Look at that. See, look at it. Look what Puck's doing. Look at that.
Bro's gotta silence the
No
haters
shot
for a
set. He
bit.
said the key to. Look at that. Sets 1 and pass. Sets 1 and pass. And I'm a bot for making him start. He knows. And by the way, we talked about this strat. Yo, should we force the mirror to go first?
Oh my god, someone in the chat actually does say, because he knows Pac is siding out the traps, expecting to go second, so he sends Pac first to force him to play without traps. Someone literally just said it in the chat.
During side, I told Pac that. But Pac was like, yo, I'm not sure we should do that. And we talked about it, but he never knew. He didn't believe that I was going to do that to him. And he's laughing. Look, he's laughing. Look,
Someone's like, IDK, Sam wouldn't...
Watch.
Someone's like, IDK, Sam wouldn't have... IDK, Sam Def wouldn't have let him go first, but IDK, they know each other, so there must be a reason. He's so close. I wouldn't have thought of that, though.
Special on Fenrir. Look, he's laughing. He knows, bro. Like, fam, but by the way, guys, I only had 1 month to test this deck, and I tested with Nesh and Pac, so you shout out to those guys. I was in Thailand for a month, and I was training with them like every day. Well, mainly Nesh.
Within your hand as well. Already got Pac sweating here, considering.
And Pac is laughing. He's like, like, look at that. Like, he has no traps in his deck. Look at my face. I'm like Randy Orton.
And sometimes you have to be creative,
Look at that.
especially if you feel like maybe the person you're playing against is a stronger caliber potentially. I'm not saying that Sam's bad at all. He's definitely an excellent duelist. I remember he's one of the best UBL players that we ever got to like watch
Thanks, Billy.
on stream during that format. So you have to give him his props. But you definitely respect Pac's play, so being able to have a
Okay, I know what Maluki is.
take advantage of their
He's
theory
good.
leading into the tournament is excellent.
Both these players are very exceptional at being students of
And guys, he has Urgula, Malulu, and Femena in hand. Look at this. Lucas results.
Malala.
Really,
normal summoning Lucas here from Sam. See if there is a response from Pac. Doesn't seem like there will be.
Oh, okay, my bad. And guys, remember, when you play Yu-Gi-Oh, try to have fun, guys. Oh, I can't do that?
Oh, you can't tell your opponent.
Okay, so what's happening right now is I asked Pac, oh, you have Urgula, Malulu, and Femena in hand, right? And then I got a warning for that because apparently you can't ask that after the turn is over, which is kind of dumb, but whatever.
You don't have a card in your hand. That's just how they.
But like honestly, in testing, guys, that's how we test. Yo, bro, you have this, and this in hand. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they take it a little bit too serious. But I guess the rules are rules. I ain't cheese at that, but that's why the judge gave me a warning.
Playing like this with each other. In official tournaments, you can't do that.
A lot of times, it's just in jest. Yeah, it was more of a joke, I think, than yeah. But
okay, I'm adding 5 minutes to hand. Now, actually, Brandon, if you're gonna
Okay,
try to
bro.
Ash,
he knows it's perfect for me. He knows what he also usually puts in over those Dragapult traps. But I think Fallen Virtue.
look at my face, bro. Look at my face. I know he's cooked. If this Brandon Fusion resolves, he loses. You see that? Going second paid off. So now I'm setting Urgula. I'm setting Urgula and Albaz, so I can destroy his back row. And the only thing set is definitely Imperm because we sided Imperm going second. So I'm summoning Albaz latest because going second we side out Frixel, and I go Urgula's effect to pop the back row. See, it's an Imperm. You see that? You see that?
Not the end of the world there. You get your value, and now Urgula can resolve.
So I'm going Urgula Chain Link 1, and then I'm gonna set the Rahu, and I know he has Malulu and Urgula and Femena in hand, right? I know that he has a hand. Look, guys, by the way, I want you guys to see, this is Mocharmi Perulia that he used going first. So you see that? He sided everything to go second.
If I know Sam, that is a mistake he might make.
Damn, Masala roasting me. He's like, if I know Sam, it's a mistake that you might make. You think I'm stupid, Asala? I'm not setting the Imperm column. The Imperm column is in the middle, I know. Rahu's gonna set. And guys, look at this. I'm actually gonna beat him crazy.
Let himself play any cards in that column. Smart stuff.
So I'm gonna use Femena right now. I'm gonna use Femena right now to see if he changes his own Femena. He lets it resolve. I'm gonna use Lucius. I'm gonna use the Fenrir that I have in my hand. It's a free search. Oh, actually, no, I used double Lucius. That's actually bad. I should use the... Actually, yeah, no, and I used the Fenrir as well, I think. Yeah, I'm using the Fenrir as well. Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm gonna summon Arthalion. Okay, then I'm gonna go Arthalion effect. I'm gonna go Chain Link 1 and Lucius Chain Link 2. Arthalion is gonna target his Arthaline, and it's gonna target my own Femena.
But Lion will likely try to add back the 5 mana.
Chain Link 1.
White Dragon.
He's gonna go after the Arthalion.
Okay, interesting.
And Femena. So I'm trying to bait his own Femena so he can use his Arthalion if he does that. So it resolves, see? Resolves, see? And it removes a body from the field, which is huge. And I'm adding back Femena. And I'm setting off Lucas. And I'm setting, look at this, watch this. I'm setting another Rahu. I'm setting another Rahu. Look at that. You see that? So now I have double Rahu set. Look at that. I have double Rahu set. Look, now what he's forced to do. Watch.
You have 5 mana in hand, right?
Yes.
Alright, thank you.
I have 5 mana and 1 unknown. I'm actually a genius.
Does he have
Now he's activating his own
the
Femena.
Urgula
And he has
pop and
Urgula
then
Malulu in hand.
Gulamel?
And 1 unknown.
Pop both
He's gonna use
Rahus?
the 2. The Urgula and Malulu make Chaos Dragon.
Oh, Chaos.
Look
Okay,
at this. Make
that
Chaos
works
Dragon.
too.
And he's gonna pop my back row and he's gonna use Urgula to pop the other back row. So look at that. I made him use Femena to pop both my back rows. And look at this.
The Chaos Star Source Dragon.
Yep, because there was one Dark Dragon used for the summon, he's able to go after one card.
Look,
and the Urgula
setting double Rahu. You see that? Oh, Sam doesn't know what he's doing. He made him go first. LOL. My boy said two Rahus.
Setting a couple of Rahus.
Pop my back row.
Double Rahu.
Double Rahu. Look at this. Pop both my back row. Look, both my Rahus gone. Look at that. Now, look.
Out of fusion spells there.
So good. I'm actually insane. Sorry to toot my own horn, but this is some crazy plays right here. Activate Spenta. GG. Look at my face. Look at my face. Look at my face. Look at Pog's face. He said, I'll concede. So you guys are probably wondering, why do you concede? Well, Spenta, effect, equip Artemis, search Crowley, Crowley effect, summon itself, Synchro, fusion Arthalion and the Zoroa, Synchro the Arthalion or the Albalanatus into a Zoroa, activate Zoroa, I will suck his Chaos Dragon, enter battle phase game. He's dead.
Bro said synchro instead of fusion, right? I think he meant to say fusion.
He's locked into fusions, but it's still going to get him so much.
Yeah!
Obviously, some of the
For all the doubters out there.
And then be able to continue, but they're going into game number 3. May the best man win.
And now, game 3, guys. I know Pac is not going to send me first, ever, so I actually took out all my traps going second. I know he's not going to send me first. Guys, my hand is so bad. Oh. My hand is so bad, guys. I only have one hand trap, Veiler.
I mean,
it's not bad, but it's not the card you want to draw.
as long as you can fuse it away from
Normal summon
add it back
Kitu.
and use it.
Okay, so it's not as bad.
Yep.
Normal summon Cartesia.
Normal summon Cartesia is so strong.
Damage plays a little bit. Activate the effect of Cartesia. Is there an infinite permanent? Something to negate? No.
And guys, he activated 5 mana in his hand, by the way.
How Sam sided? Did he decide to go first? Did he decide to go second? I guess we'll know if there ever is an infinite permanence. If there ever is a Multarmy.
Yeah, this is so broken, bro. Oh my god. Crowley's so broken in this situation because Arthalion can revive back Crowley to make us Zoroa in the gate before he activates Rahu. It's so broken. Yeah, and here in this spot right here, like I only have Veiler, by the way. I only have Veiler. I Veiler it, so I'm forcing him to use 5 mana. I'm forcing him to use it.
Chain 5 mana.
He
Chain 5 mana.
does. Draco Tail 5 mana.
It's so broken.
Disaster for Sam, but
Make sec. And I'm trying to remove as many bodies from his deal as much as possible. 2 Draco Tail. So he's gonna, of course, set the Rahu off the Lucius.
Yeah, there's gonna be a couple things now. Crowley's gonna do some work.
And then Crowley, when it's added to the hand, Crowley gets to summon itself.
So we'll see what he does with this.
Summon Crowley.
no response from Sam.
And he can use Crowley's effect to fuse. This forces him to get rid of his own Secretarion as well. Yeah, he's using it. Zoro is so broken in the mirror, guys. This card is like the best card ever. And Arthalion can come back from the grave. Yep, and he can equip the Crowley here. Activate Rahu. He's sending Lucius and Urgula to summon, of course, Gulamel, and he has 1 card in hand. And Urgula is going to set the Flame. Yep, he set the Flame. And this is end board. This end board is actually breakable, bro. It's actually breakable. And Urgula adds 5 mana back, and he has 1 unknown card in his hand.
It looks like we're gonna be ending our turn here.
He has 1 card in his hand.
Is there anything else you can set from your hand?
He sets 1, and he has 5 mana in hand. That's it. So now, I'm like, okay, this board is actually breakable. It's like a Draco Tail regular board with Zoroa. I can break this.
Yeah, effect to leave main phase or effect to leave main phase. Of course. Effect Cartesia.
And Cartesia will get added to hand. Fine, it's fine. So my hand is Lucius, Fenrir, 5 mana, Urgula, Kitu. Okay? So, look. So here are my options, okay? He has Flame, which I know he set right here to check my Kitu, so I can't use that. Okay? This is a mystery unknown. Okay? He has 5 mana and Cartesia in hand. My Kitu gets checked by his Flame, and my 5 mana gets checked by his Zoroa. Okay? Zoroa will negate 5 mana all the time in this situation. Zoroa will negate 5 mana, for sure. If he doesn't, he gets cooked. Look at this. Special on Fenrir. So I use Fenrir's effect to add another Fenrir directly from deck to hand. So now, I have to do everything in my power to bait out this Zoroa in the gate. Because I need to make sure that my 5 mana resolves. Because if 5 mana doesn't resolve, then my Kitu doesn't resolve, then I can't fusion something. Okay? I want you guys to know that. Okay?
Do you think when they built this deck, they thought about playing each other? What would you do?
Oh, I'm sure the thought has to cross your mind.
Now I'm entering battle. So now I'm entering battle. Why? I have to force this Zoroa out. I know this is Flame, and I know this is 1 set, so I'm betting that this is an impermanence. No, so I'm betting
Oh,
that
it's probably
this is a
Horn.
Or this is a bluff.
I don't remember
Like, I know
this
is 1
match
set, I have to
though,
bait out
but
this Zoroa
Horn would be
fusion.
pretty
When I
annoying
bait this out,
here.
I can use 5 mana, and I can actually win the game.
But it's just like at this point in the tournament,
Because then I can use Urgula to pop the Flame.
you off guard, this late stage,
It's fucking Horn. Hard draw Horn.
That's my only bet. And now I special Fenrir during the main phase 2. I'm normal
Or is it
this.
hard draw
I
Horn?
want him to
No,
negate
it's
this,
unknown.
And he likes to resolve. Then activate 5 mana. I was hoping that he doesn't negate this, but you have to negate 5 mana. Yep. Yep, he's gonna just pop my Fenrir. And I can't ask, oh, so you have Cartesia in hand, right? Because if I do that, it's already got another warning. I get a warning again, and then I get a game loss. So I did not ask. Okay, so I'm setting, yep, so he destroys Fenrir. And I'll activate Kitu. And like, I'm looking at his face. If I had Ash, he's so cooked. He's gonna flame it. And I'm smiling. And he goes, do you have it? Because if I have a Fallen the Virtuous, Ash, or Bell, he loses. That's why he said that.
I see 3 monsters in his hand. I see Pan,
And look at my hand. I have no way to play. And that's why, guys, like I had to force
07.
that card was not a flame. That is literally it. And I extended my hand. And that was a great game, bro. That was a great-ass game.
Yeah, that was pretty close, yeah. Got fucked by
And I
Horn.
told him at that point, yo, bro, I was hoping that wasn't a flame. If that wasn't a flame, I could have cleared Zoroa, then I actually could have been lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he was like, nah, he's like, yeah. He knew everything. Like, I think I played that completely perfect. Like, I think I played that perfectly. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't drop like another 5 mana for a turn, if I drew like an Ash, I think I could still be able to play, and then game 3 would be absolutely insane.
Sam catching Pac off guard there.
But yeah, bro.
By letting him go first, using their strategy that they devised going into this tournament.
That was a great game.
Just absolutely incredible.
And sorry, guys, if I'm a little bit like animated, you know what I'm saying? But that's who I am. Obviously, I don't mean anything when I roast you guys. I'm just roasting the people in the comments because they don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I want you guys to know that there's a difference between content creation and actually competitive Yu-Gi-Oh.
Thank you very much. We have both of our feature match competitors up on stage. We had to bring back and Sam.
By the way, I actually love Kangas. This is Steve Kangas, the best commentator of all time for the TCG. He's the GOAT. Like, he's so good.
He's the GOAT. He's the
You're
GOAT.
both on the same team. You're both good friends. Pack, I want
He's actually the GOAT. I love Steve.
to ask you first. What was it like
Holy
doing
shit. Look at
against Sam?
look at my stomach, bro. Just eating too good, bro. I'm just eating too good. I'm actually fat, bro. Like, damn. I'm hitting the gym now, by the way. I'm getting a little bit skinnier. You know what I'm saying? But like, damn, man, I'm fat, dude.
Me too. I'm hitting the gym too.
Same experience. I played
Today
some
was
of
leg
my
day.
friends in like finals of worlds, like literally. So to be able to play against Sam, like on a YCS stage, playing the exact same deck, I think
This was one of my hardest match ever.
really cool.
That's why I'm
experience.
bound to my
Harder or
chair,
easier
never
than
to move again.
Harder. Oh, this is harder for sure. That's just for you, to be honest. He got lucky, you know what I'm saying? Nesh got lucky.
Harder
the world's finals. Sam, what do you think?
Honestly, that was a really fun game. Hawk is my mentor and coach alongside Nesh as well.
Yep.
So they actually prepped me for this event. So, like, I was, I'm not really good at Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not really, but I'm actually not that good at Yu-Gi-Oh, but I am better than the average. So, he, like, it's like a coach versus student. It's an honor to be able to just play him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a sick game. And back, that was Joey and Yugi start. You seen that? I'm like, bro, do you see how you start? He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you think about that game too, where he
makes
you go first?
I'll be honest, we talked about it, but I didn't know he was actually gonna do it. He ended up doing it, and let's say I was not prepared. So yeah.
Well, Billy and Asala were in the back talking, and they weren't sure who was the master, who was the student. But Pac, as the master, how'd you feel seeing your student play? Do you feel like you have any pointers for him, or
Guys,
are you
like,
happy with how he played?
I'll be honest, like it's easy to like teach someone if they have passion for the game.
Facts.
And Sam obviously is someone who has a lot of passion for Yu-Gi-Oh. He's a content creator. He makes
Facts.
YouTube videos literally every single day. He loves this game, and
I actually love this game, and I love everybody who loves this game. I love all you guys. Like, you guys know me, bro. You guys have known my journey. You guys know, where we are here, Team Samurai X1. I actually love this game in my life, bro. Like, no cap. Like, I actually love and die for this game, no cap.
I heard a story that the two of you, you brought him on for a 3v3 team,
Yes,
correct? That's how the two of you started
when he first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's
That's
what-
crazy.
now
And
he's,
you
like,
carried him?
ascended. No.
So a little backstory between Pac and I. If you guys go back in the archives of YouTube, Val, you can do that for me. Back in 2020, I hosted a contest where you can submit your application and you can be part of my team with Shrift, and Pac won the contest. And I flew Pac over, and this is when he did not play Yu-Gi-Oh. He was a newbie. He did not play Yu-Gi-Oh at all. He was just like a young lad that never played the game. He was just like a very novice. He was a noob, and during that time, he was not better than me. No cap. Like, he was not better than me and Steven. Like, we were like. And he knows this himself. Like, back in the day, he was good, but, he's just a beginner. We actually came 17th place at that YCS. We came 17th place. It was top 16 cutoff. We came 17th place together at his first
Dang,
YCS.
so close.
And back then, he was like the noob, But now look how the roles have reversed. Like, he is my mentor. He is my coach. He is my best friend. You know what I'm saying? He literally makes me better as a player, right? And look how the tides have turned, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's insane, bro. And one thing I want you guys to learn about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that no matter how many years I've had experience before him, you can always be better and you can always get help. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's why Pac is insane.
Yeah, I don't know. For all the time I've spent on this game, there's always something to learn. Even irrespective of like new deck releases and having to learn those new themes.
Really playing more competitively.
Shouts to Konami, man. You guys are putting such an amazing event. This event was crazy. Setup. This is insane. This is the future. Yu-Gi-Oh's the future, man. Best card game in the world. It is. We're gonna share the stage with all you guys at home.
There's a
and,
lot.
With Steve, with Pac, with everybody here watching. You guys are insane. Thanks for watching, bro. You guys are the reason why we have stuff like this. So shouts to Konami and shouts to all the viewers watching at home.
That's the correct mentality. Shout out everybody watching. You're the reason that we put this all together. Thank you so much, Pac. Thank you so much, Sam. Congratulations on the win, and thank you for this interview. Back to the casters.
This was you guys seeing the most intense match
I
I've
don't know,
ever had
cards
in my
interact in
entire life.
so many different
Guys,
ways.
thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this duel in the comments down below. This was epic. All right, guys. Shout out to Konami for hosting the event, and I cannot wait to see all you guys at the next YCS. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and the deck box is now live at tx1.com. Be sure to get it today in the link in the description box below at tx1.com for your destruction deck box. All right, guys. Your boys
All
Sam.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, you got your
All right, guys.
fuck.
Peace.
You got your ad read. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll call it. I think that's kind of a cute video to end. Little heartwarming story. W. I will be back later today. I will grind. GG. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'll wake up, do my chores. It might end up that I just end up streaming around the same time, but I'm Diamond 1 right now. I think it's feasible to get to Master 1 later. Trying to think. I think it's feasible. We could probably do it this weekend. In one sitting next session, that's ideal. Hopefully no D ranks, because D ranks just take a little bit more time, but it's annoying. But at the end of the day, Lion, yeah, really? What do you mean, really? Well, what are you saying, really, to? Like, really, very heartwarming? Yeah, it's very heartwarming. Yeah. As in, like, really, we might do it this weekend in one sitting? Yeah, technically, I mean, by my own, like, estimation, it should be like 10 more hours. But if there's D ranks, it's gonna take way longer. And there's also a chance we get hard stuck. Like we could be like, remember like last time when I was speedrunning, quote unquote, I was in Master 2 and it took me like 6 hours to get out of there. Yeah. SMH? What do you mean SMH? Fuck off. Dude, I was dying actually. Like I needed to sleep. I was playing pretty badly near the end, but I think on the rank up I was like, this is my last rank up. Clown. Oh my god. XD epic trolled the streamer. But yeah, like I think I'm lucky I ranked up at the time I did, because I literally said, I was like, this is it. I need to, because I had to go to the office also. Like I need to. I did my best, and I ended up getting a rank up. Like the opponent just like skedaddled as soon as I normal summoned a monster. Or you go back to 5, yeah. Yeah, if I go back to 5, that's pretty bad. Let me see. Just threaten. Just threaten. Okay, so yeah, today's Saturday. If I can do it in one sitting, that's ideal. But if not, I can. Okay, let's say I do it in 4 hours. I end up in like Master 2. Sorry, not Master 2. Master 4. That's still good progress. And then from there, I could probably do the rest in one sitting. It should take me 3 days, if anything. But of course, I have work on the week. I might have a chance to play Mirror. Nice. Don't worry, we have more coming. Yes. So what she's referring to is on her channel on the 19th. I'll be joining. It's gonna be the afternoon. I don't think it's gonna be her usual time. I think. I mean, it's up to you. It's like what time in the afternoon. But it's I did request that because I have work the day after. So yeah, she'll be climbing with Yummy from Diamond 5, and I'll probably be there. You know, I feel like you don't really need that much help comboing turn 1. So that's not. It's mostly like the navigating through the dumbass bullshit, going second. Because sometimes we shouldn't be winning those games, but your opponent throws, and then we're like, oh shit, we gotta lock in. So I feel like that's where I'm helping out with. Cool tune, we'll figure it out. Keck W tune. Droplet MVP, that's why. Fair enough. Actually, Droplet doesn't sound that bad into cool tune. Thinking about it. Because once they see it, there's not much they can do. But yeah, so that's on the horizon. So yeah, I'm thinking. So if I don't finish Saturday, there's always Sunday, but I don't think it's a good idea to do too long Saturday. Like if I'm gonna do it in one sitting, it has to be in between Saturday, Sunday. Monday and Tuesday. Oh, dude, actually, I think Wednesday the 15th. I'll probably be more free, and I'll just do something. I still have to finish Pokemon XD. It's actually a lot of. I looked it up, and the way I'm playing, it's like on the completionist side. It's probably gonna take more. I think I've only played 10 hours, and like. The way I've been playing, it probably is going to take like 30 hours or 40, which is a lot. I didn't expect to put that much time. Actually, I'm just used to playing Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney, that trilogy is a little bit shorter. It's like 20 hours on average. So I could do that in like 3 days. I have Super Mario Wonder. I've never opened that. I kind of want to play through that. I still have to finish Super Mario Mario and Luigi Brothership. I'm like right at the end, but I just keep like not. There's also the other Master 1 climb with yeah, I mean I'm like right now I'm Plat 3 or something. So offline, I'm kind of doing that. So maybe by the time I finish the M1 climb here, for a math mech, I could save the. I think I'll try to do Magnet Warrior Fiendsmith or something. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be in Diamond 5 when I start. If not, then it doesn't really matter. That account has a lot of gems already, so I'm not worried about. And I'm not getting Cool Tune on that account for now. Maybe next month, if there's nothing cool next month. Okay, so yeah, today and tomorrow are probably I'll be streaming a little bit more than. Yeah, so maybe Wednesday the 15th I'll be around. I have a day off on Friday. Like I literally, so maybe 15th and 16th I can finagle something. What's the other thing? 19th I'll be on Gameway channel. What else? So that doesn't leave. Oh, there's an event coming up soon, right? Oh my god. So maybe I'll do if the event comes on the 15th, then I'll probably be doing that. I forgot there's an event. Man. I'm back, Oh, I was just saying, what event? It's like Synchro Link and Xyz, I think. Yeah, the event for Master Duel for the gems. That's what I heard was data mined, but I don't know. I don't know the exact date, but I'm just saying like I'll be more free because Monday and Tuesday I have to be in the office, and like that's commuting and that's extra. So you can play FDK? Oh, true, you could. But I imagine it's going to be in the middle of the month. Well, maybe I could just ignore it, and then when the second missions come, I could like do it in one sitting. That's not that hard for me. 19th, I've already said I'll be on your channel. I'm just thinking the week of the 20th. What do I want to do? Maybe I could do the climb with Magnet Warrior, but that account is pretty behind. It's Plat 3 right now. But if I can get it to Diamond 5 before, then we could probably just spend more time on that. Usually it's mid, true. But yeah, this isn't too bad. Like we're 19, 24, 26. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. 24 through 26. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. That is very, very. Thank you for reminding me. Because yeah, we might not be able to do on the 19th one sitting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. So there's multiple days. I mean, it's possible, but just in case something happens. Honestly, the worst thing that happened was I don't want to. Okay, don't take this the wrong way. Okay, I think weren't you like Diamond 2, and then you told me like Diamond 2 at one point, and then you like I think when I showed up the first time, you were Diamond 5. And so we just had to start over again. Something like that. I forgot what happened, but sorry if I'm misrepresenting what happened because skull emoji. I don't think like there was another time we started. We ended up in Diamond 2 after like 12 hours, or was it 10 hours? It was more like 10 hours. That was like pretty rough. And then. But after that, the second, it was speed run, like 8 hours or something. Line 2 to 4 or something after 10 hours. 10-5. Okay, yeah. That sucks. So close. But okay, I want to play the Mega Man Star Force collection, and then after that, I think I'll move on to Apollo Justice. Hopefully, I forget everything. I'm pretty sure I've never played Apollo Justice, but so I think by that time, if I get to GAA, I'll forget everything because I'm already watching. I'm already spoiled. Yeah, so I probably won't get to Apollo Justice till like June or something. Okay, I think that's enough. I think I'll raid you guys out. Thank you for joining me. It was fun. I think the games went pretty well. There were like two. I mean, to be fair, my opponents were like doo-doo. But there were 2 killer tunes where we just stayed in and somehow won. Like, bruh. And hopefully it stays that way. Or all right, who did I send y'all? Guy popped in. You're welcome. Thanks for showing up as well. I'm okay. I'll send you guys to Pumi. Yeah. I'll send you guys to Pumi. She's pretty good at the game. I think she's commentating right now. One of the tournament. Hope Reggie will stream Tenpai with Gamu teaching him while torturing him. That's so funny that you just add that last part. That sounds like something. I could see that. But yeah, I'll try to finish the Ratmech climb. Ratmech, we say this in a... It's not derogatory, okay? I said this to Jesse. Jesse heard someone use the word Ratmech, and he's like, okay, I don't like Mathmech, but that's too far. I'm like, no, we don't mean it that way. Well, okay, the person who made the emote probably meant it that way, but I think it's a funny emote. I can coach? You can do that, yeah, for sure. I was thinking Raid Raptors down the road. Whatever. The point is, something you actually like have, like Raid Raptor. Oh man. Okay, whatever. Whatever heinous Tenpai build you come up with, or you see, or you repost, sure. I do have Tenpai cards. Okay, bye bye. See ya.